Welcome, weary travelers, to another jaw-dropping episode of Arcanarama.
Okay.
It's the gnocchi. I'm Cameron Holt. I will be your dungeon master for the evening. I also make art in D&D and D&D art-related videos over at youtube.com/fablefire, so check that out, but not right now, because we're doing this right now. I'm joined, as always, by the intrepid Arcana crew. Prove to them that we're emotionally okay, Arcana crew.
It's fine.
Before we begin, we have some announcements to get to.
Good job, everyone.
I'm going to throw it over first to Taylor for some words from our sponsors.
Hello, all. I'm the sponsor person, and our sponsors this week are the Gilded Rogue to start. Gilded Rogue is an apparel and lifestyle store online run by one of our very good friends. Sell things that have cute things on them. You like D&D, you're here. You can buy the stuff. Right now, if you buy $75 of merch, you get free shipping, and I didn't see an asterisk, so that might be anywhere. So do that. That's like 3 or 4 items. And when you buy something, they plant a tree and tell you all about it and why. So
They plant a tree per item, too, right?
Yeah, per item. Mm-hmm. And they tell you why it's important to that area and medicinal qualities and all that stuff. So go out there and
Buy a forest of merch.
God, that feels good. All right, and our next sponsor is More Fun Comics and Games, who celebrated a free RPG day today, which you can go to the store and get free stuff that it relates to tabletop gaming and accessories. They're our local comic book store, and they supplied us with this backwards box that you can win if you're a follower and not from Quebec. It's wonderful stuff. There's 4 random minis in here, and if you win this evening,
Nothing happened.
Just do a little bump back there.
Yeah.
Just having a little bit of fun.
I was spitting my gum out.
Oh. You showed us.
Well, I had to prove it because you brought up drugs.
I want to believe you.
The internet loves stretch and pull.
You do. You got to show the cross section.
You should have ASMR'd though.
Yeah, you can win this evening after Cameron tells you what the cool passcode is. But it's pretty rad stuff. It's pre-painted minis from WizKids. So I think it's WizKids. I think it might just be D&D themselves.
I think they...
Yeah, this is just no, it's WizKids.
Yeah.
It's from WizKids.
They're at least partners. I don't know if they
Yeah.
own them. Hell yeah.
And that's all for me.
Hell yeah. Thanks, Taylor. Now, to explain why we're all being so weird, I'm going to throw it over to Kitty.
Hey, we're all a little weird right now, and this isn't something that we normally do on our show. You know, we're here to play D&D and tell a story and have a good time and escape into a fantasy realm. However, it feels wrong to not acknowledge what happened yesterday and what's going on currently. I'm sure that everyone has heard, it's everywhere, all over the internet and news channels and everything. But we just wanted to say that it's scary, but it's not over. We support our LGBTQ plus fam. Anybody with a uterus that is really scared right now. We are not here to argue. We're here to support. We added a section to our website. If you go to arcanaramashow.com/resources, we have a list of links there of places that you can donate to help. There are, I believe, links there where you can get to, if you're in the States, you can contact your senators and at least ruin their day a little bit by yelling at them.
Delete your period tracking apps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do it. Yeah, we may have something for that coming up soon. But we just wanted to acknowledge we know and we are all feeling it. But they cannot take our joy. So for the next 4 hours, we are going to do what we do. We're going to enjoy our time with each other and with you in the chat, with our friends, and tell a story. So that's
Yeah. Thanks, Kitty.
Yeah.
With that out of the way, before we move on any further, to lighten the mood, I actually have a gift for all of you.
What? A gift?
A gift.
Roll initiative.
Okay.
Oh, fuck.
Fuck.
I'm really good at
Let's
this.
see. Are we doing pluses or are we?
No, this
okay.
is straight
What?
rollies. Straight rollies.
Okay.
Straight
First off,
rollies.
rude. I definitely have some pluses to this. This is it's Pride Month, so how dare you do this to me? I rolled really bad. No, don't look at that.
You guys can just call them out.
That's 6.
Oh, okay.
13.
Yeah.
2.
14.
Okay.
I win.
My dex is probably the highest at the table, no offense.
Just because you can catch stuff that people throw at you.
Well, maybe be a person with uterus today and you
Yeah.
get to go first.
You know what?
Four.
Yeah, I'll give you that for sure. I have to. There's like no one else is going to.
Oh my god.
And then it was Kitty, correct?
Yeah.
All right, Kitty.
I don't know if you
Here
guys
are
can
your
see them.
updated
Oh my god.
Cholulers.
Updated Cholulers.
The special
The
boy.
one you wanted the most.
No way.
Yeah, dude.
And you're really the furthest. Lolly. The furthest you can be from me.
Oh, baby cat's asleep in a box.
Hell yeah, you did it.
You're asleep in a box.
And then 6, right?
6.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's you. Whoa.
Shit, yeah, dude, you did it.
Hi. Okay,
You're
I'll stand for
you're
this. What?
Their new
Oh my god.
You got your little babies that you wanted.
I got the wireframes.
No.
Hell yeah.
If you guys want to take some pictures of those and throw them up
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Throw up in
right
my
into the
mouth
trash.
Right
Oh,
now.
my phone just died.
Oh, you want to use mine?
I can use my little iPad.
What was that?
Your brandless tablet.
It doesn't. I don't think it has anything.
No, it
I
doesn't.
can really.
Yeah.
Why are you rude to me?
I was.
Your line on your paper.
Someone's gonna have to leave. Because I have
Oh, the
16.
dice. Yeah.
So
Can't
someone
make a
can have
grid.
Perfect. Yeah, I can no longer square. It's getting
Yeah, I was
difficult.
messing around with the clear shell process and thought I would do something special for all of you guys. And because also Aurora and Rabbit didn't have their own dice sets yet.
We didn't have our own dice yet.
Yeah.
It's finally it's nice we finally get recognized for playing this game. Like you would be nowhere without us. You'd be talking in a room for 8 hours.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. I have like a whole YouTube channel about it or some shit.
Oh no, those are beautiful.
I really like the Aurora ones. They're very cool. They're like
Yeah.
Oh shit!
like
yeah.
blue and black ink with a gold framing around the edges.
That's so sick.
So cool. Hell yeah. Well,
What is this guy?
yeah. Enjoy. My gift to you. May they roll in your favor this evening. Now I'm going to throw it over to Sam to tell you where you can find us on social media.
You can go to our About section to find links to all of our social media. That's the easiest way to do it. There's a link to our Discord where we're sending pictures of dice right the fuck now.
Yeah.
But you can only see them if you're in our Discord, punks. You can also... Do you like it when I berate you, viewers?
Say yeah.
Let us know in the chat.
You can also find us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Arcanarama Show. We post a lot of different stuff there. We post clips. We post our previously ons. So if you need to catch up or what have you, or you just need a refresher because you're unable to form memories like me, you can go there.
Yeah. Also, big shout out to Butterfly425 in the chat because every time we're doing these intros, they are always throwing in commands to bring up our social media and our Discord, and
Thanks,
that's super.
Oh, thanks, Butterfly. We also have a TikTok that is at Arcanarama. We're blowing up, you guys. We're fucking.
I mean, we passed 300 followers like
Oh,
yesterday.
really?
Yeah,
Shit,
we're like
that's
310 now. It's crazy.
dope
Yeah,
as
we have a
hell.
beautiful community of bots for you over there.
No, I'm pretty sure they're all real people.
No, they're probably
actually.
real people. Yeah.
I'm a real person.
If they were fake, we would have more of them.
If like 10% of them followed us on here, we would draw the whole monster manual on sexy.
That's true.
Oh, that's true. But right now, nothing sexy is happening. You have to make it happen.
Flip it.
First of all, I as a human resent that. Hot girl summer.
Listen, I thought you said taco summer. Like, fuck yeah,
All right.
dude.
Yeah.
Taco summer.
Like, yeah, hell yeah, dude.
One begets another.
Speaking of dice, that brings us to our second giveaway of the evening, which is going to be this beautiful set of Fantasy Forge dice, handmade just like the ones that I just passed out.
You mean Fable Fire dice?
Fable Fire.
Oh
Fuck
my God.
yeah! I knew that was gonna happen.
We're all adjusting.
All
Yeah.
is dead. Okay.
This beautiful set, that's a D12 of gold roses
Rose gold.
What? Rose gold?
roses and gold. That's what it's
Roses.
called. Yes. I was like, I know it's the colors, but it's something else.
Roses and
It is a beautiful set of dice, if I do say so myself. It is filled to the brim. There's a video below me. I'm just holding this because I want to. They're full to the brim with gold flakes and rose gold resin, as well as clear resin. And they're super cool, super beautiful. You want them. To find out how to win them, stay tuned with us until after our break. When we go to our break, I will announce how to enter the first giveaway of the evening, the more fun mystery mini giveaway. And then when we come back from our break, I'll announce the winner and then how to enter for the dice. And we will announce the winner of the dice sometime around near the end of the stream. Sometimes it's right at the end, sometimes it's a little bit before, so just stay with us and you won't even have to worry about missing it if your name gets called.
Stay with us.
Yeah.
Also, you'll be my dice twin. I have the pink set with me.
Yeah.
Funny enough.
You have more dice twins than I.
Yeah.
Well, she's purchased more dice than anyone, I'm just saying.
It's because this bag is full of dice.
Earned my dice.
I bought these.
I'm married into the dice empire.
This
I
is
don't
true.
pay for my fucking
Well,
dice.
no, yeah, that's not true. You actually have probably more Fantasy Forge dice than anyone
I
here.
only
Yeah.
have fantasy.
Fable Fire.
Fable Fire.
You guys.
I'll get there.
Change is
I'm
hard.
still adjusting.
How about you guys call us out every time someone says Fantasy Forge?
Yeah, please do.
In chat, just throw up Fable Fire.
We'll make a new emote
Yeah.
if we get a slot.
Go viral.
All right.
It's just our mistake.
With all that out of the way, I think it's time for a vibe check. I'm gonna
Go
go
with the new one.
Hi.
Same.
What's up?
Yeah, I'm gonna use one of my new ones. I gave
no.
myself some dice as well.
Oh, that's what
Mine are similar to
Yeah,
the
of
Silas dice. They're like
course.
clear with like splatters of black paint.
Whoa.
I'll take a picture and put it in Discord.
Hey, how are your vibes? They're probably like
They are.
emotionally, but like, hey, how are your dice vibes? Are they okay?
Yeah.
Cancer babies? Happy birthday! Oh my
I
god!
I thought you were shouting
No.
out babies who.
They have cancer.
Shut up. No, I'm not gonna do that.
No.
To the tune of Santa Baby.
Oh man. I hope your dice are okay. I got an 11. Mid. She's mid. But
Yeah,
like, hey,
I got an 8, but I feel like I kind of deserve that.
13.
she's so pretty.
I got a 6.
Okay. Okay.
And you can do your own vibe check along with us in the chat by typing exclamation point vibe check with no spaces, and Moobot will roll the dice in your favor.
Butterfly got a 16.
Whoa.
Butterfly.
Arcanarama got a 12.
Hey.
Fern got a 2.
Hey.
Oh,
I feel that.
firm. We all got a 2 today.
That's what,
Yeah, yesterday.
Pride
This
Month.
week.
That's fucking lame.
Right. All right. Everything is
Pride
back in
Month?
its place. What were those rolls again? I forgot to pay attention.
I got an 11.
Nice.
6.
13.
7.
13.
I hope you're just averaging like who rolls the lowest on vibe check.
You said 6? And you said 13? No.
6, 7,
7.
13, 11.
Oh.
I will
Right.
never remember another set of numbers ever again. That was it, guys. That was all the mental CPU at once.
4 hours later.
Ooh, everybody sent their dice.
I know.
Yes. The Discord is inundated with beautiful dice.
They're
bits.
also pretty. There's
All
so
right.
much cat hair in my dice tray.
I
Oh,
don't
yeah.
have any silly puns this time. The fight with the hag is now 4 days away and shaping up to be one of the deadliest battles that the Mistwalkers will probably ever face. So let's continue the story in tonight's episode of Arcanarama. Previously on Arcanarama, Rabbit experienced a vision from the dying life tree of Rovenguld that revealed its name to be Chandragora. Shortly thereafter, the camp was invaded by a giant albino crocodile that coughed and choked before dying at the camp's edge. This confirmed the Mistwalkers' suspicions that whatever it is the Silver Stake is doing on Rovenguld is beginning to have disastrous effects on the environment of the area.
After getting a night's rest, the party retraced their steps to the stone wall hidden by illusions and prepared to do some reconnaissance. As Silas remarked on the age of the ancient structure, Rabbit, the most capable of scaling large structures, quietly made their way up the wall to investigate. Unfortunately, the enemy patrol atop the wall were on their guard and raised an alarm before launching their attack. What came next was the hardest battle the Mistwalkers have had to face to date. Fierce combatants, coupled with the obstacle of a 40-foot-high stone wall, caused a number of problems for the party. Midway through the battle, it was discovered that the Silver Stake were trying to capture the Mistwalkers alive for use in some ritual. That order did not extend, however, to Aurora, the Silver Stake apostate. In the eyes of the cultists, those who turn their backs on the light of the Silver Flame are shown no mercy. In the end, the whole of the Mistwalkers lay unconscious and defeated, all but Aurora and myself, Genevieve. Making our last stand, we managed to take down the 4 attackers, but not before Aurora was killed by the heretics. As the curtain fell, only I stood. What will become of the Mistwalkers' mission? Will I be able to retrieve their unconscious bodies from the wall before reinforcements arrive? Is there any hope of resurrecting Aurora on this dangerous and enemy-filled island? Find out right now on Arcanarama.
Everything is dark and blurry. Light fades in and out. You hear muffled voices shouting in the distance and below. The clashing of steel against steel. There's flashes of bright light and then darkness. Suddenly there's this herbaceous smell and that of wet earth. Then hushed voices, and this kind of incessant dripping that just keeps going. Silas, as your senses return, you find yourself in a dark, damp space, lying atop smooth alabaster stone. Similar stone curves upward, forming walls and a ceiling overhead. Nearby, you see Genevieve sitting, looking concerned, but she quickly notices as you rouse and approaches. Silas, are you okay?
Yes. What happened? Where are we?
We're safe. We're a little bit farther north from where we started. After we stopped them, I got back up the wall and checked on all of you, and it seemed like whatever their aim was, it wasn't to kill most of us. I didn't think it would be worth wasting our resources to rouse you immediately. At this point, Rabbit, you begin to rouse and waken. Quite a headache, but mechanically speaking, you're all feeling rested for the most part.
Where are we right now?
We're in a cave. We're north of our original location at the wall. I should probably warn all of you that I didn't find this place on my own, and I clearly couldn't have gotten all of your bodies off of the wall by myself. Someone came along, and it was trust them or risk capture. So far, things are good. Well, at this point, Cholula kind of cough and awaken. Pippin starts sitting up as well. That's not... This person seems trustworthy, and they've gone out.
What person?
The person that helped me get all of you off of the wall. Honestly, they've carried most of you.
Where are they now?
They went out to get some food. They should be back any minute.
Or they went off to rat us out?
I don't think that they would do that. They seemed like they had just as much at stake as we do.
Is everyone in this room?
Make a perception check. It is dark, but that's not a problem for any of you. Natural 20.
13.
13.
Perception?
11.
All right. Yeah, looking around, you see your party. A little bit further into the cave, you see some white linens that have been fashioned into more of like a sheet or cover over what is clearly Cholula, the form of a body. And based on who you see sitting up and around, you can only assume that it is Aurora's body.
Immediately, Cholula's like, oh no. And I'm just gonna like rush over.
They seem to know who she was. I think they wanted us for something, but clearly that didn't extend to Aurora. By the time that I was able to finish off the last one, she had already stopped breathing. On your natural 20, Cholula, and as you approach, getting closer, you notice a kind of soft glow coming from beneath the cloths as you approach.
I'm gonna check him.
Yeah. Pulling it up, you see something that I don't think any of you saw during the fight, but when Aurora
I
fell,
didn't see anything.
yeah, you were all unconscious already.
We were down.
But as our audience and Genevieve know, when Aurora fell from her blood, there were these little silver glowing sprouts that began to kind of rise and bloom. And you can see jutting out from cracks in the stone itself, where there should not be this type of vegetation, are these little, just faintly glowing silver blossoms. And the last thing that I'll give you for that natural 20 perception check, you don't know how long it's been, but based on the fact that it is clearly dark, you can see kind of the direction where the mouth of the cave would be, and you are towards the kind of end of it in this portion. You get the sense that it is nighttime, and it was before sunrise when you fought. So it's been at least probably 12 hours.
Mm-hmm.
But the body doesn't seem, there's no like foul smell. There's no like bugs in the wounds. There are a lot of wounds, but it doesn't seem to be decomposing normally, at least.
The flowers, do they seem safe?
They don't seem threatening. It's hard to say based off of what you experienced with the giant crocodile recently and all the animal carcasses that you've come across. It seems pretty likely that most things on this island are being poisoned by something, but you're not sure if that's vegetation or some other source.
Gather just like a few and put them in my pouch if I can.
Yeah, you pluck them and place them in your pouch. You can add 3 silver buds to your inventory.
Okay.
It's not a magic item or anything. You'll just have to type it in.
Is there anything that we can do for? There are any, good clerics around that would be willing to help us, I can imagine.
At this point, you hear heavy footsteps coming from the other end of the cave. Genevieve quickly turns puts a hand on her short sword and kind of like clings to the wall and waits for a second before relaxing. Everyone, just relax. I'm sure they'll be willing to answer any questions that you have. Could I have Miranda join us at the table, please? We're still friends.
It's me. No, I died. I rolled the dice. What are you guys talking about?
Earlier, she was punching the shit out of Cameron.
Yeah.
I'm wearing a lot of makeup.
He died for a second.
We had to rebuild the set.
Yeah.
You can watch that video on YouTube.
Miranda, would you mind describing what the characters see as you approach?
Hi. So Nettle is this 6'2" Aasimar paladin, full plate armor that is like under these like very white, shimmery, sort of like almost pearlescent robes. They have their hair sort of pulled back in this really, really tight donut-shaped bun, very low, sitting at the back of their head. Very golden, almost like piercing eyes, with a very straight brow, but really soft features otherwise. And they're very sweet. They have a very sweet face. They're adorable.
Okay.
Well, I don't trust it.
Genevieve turns around.
Are
Everyone,
they carrying anything?
yeah, what are you packing?
Like, as far as weapons?
Anything.
Oh. I have this sort of side cross bag, and I do carry 2 weapons. They're both on my hip. I have a long sword and a hand axe on the other. And then sort of strapped to my back is this very large and circular shield.
I would say they're also carrying like a very sickly looking pair of squirrels that are pretty thin.
Carrying them?
Mm-hmm.
Squirrels.
Carry.
Well, they're dead.
Yeah.
Okay. You said sickly. Like,
Yeah.
they're caring for them.
Oh, no,
to
no, no.
try to-
No.
okay.
Carrying
Holding.
carrying 2 dead squirrels that don't look like they have much meat on them.
Okay.
We can't say it enough that there's 2 dead squirrels now in the cave.
Well, you're talking about like things that you
And
got, and I'm like,
us.
Yeah.
And
there
then
are
she
also
got squirrels.
2 pet squirrels, but they're sick.
I heard that
And
someone
also
was going
dead.
out for food, and I wanted to make sure they're coming back with food.
Genevieve turns to all of you. Everyone, this is Nettle. Nettle, these are the Mistwalkers.
Hi.
Hello.
Sorry, I'm Nettle. I understand the ropes are probably a little disoriented. I was leaving, is what I'm trying to convey.
You were just leaving the stake. Out of nowhere?
No, not out of nowhere. They're doing. Okay, I know that this is going to sound a little far-fetched, but I saw something that they did and it was really fucked up and I just can't stay.
No,
I
that
have-
sounds about like in line with what I've heard, at
You
least.
found out that they're awful. So are they marking you as an apostate
Yeah, make an
now?
insight check. You can make a persuasion or deception check, your choice.
Yeah, I'm going to do an insight.
Yeah. How fucking wild would it be if she just murdered you all?
This is a PvP
I-
campaign.
I don't think so. Like
15.
15, 10,
21
24.
for
24.
persuasion.
persuasion. These are always so weird to figure out. I would say, on that note, because it is persuasion,
I'll sort of
really
hand
regardless.
the scrolls out and just sort of shake them. I did my best.
You're all pretty convinced that that they're telling you the truth. Rabbit, you still have some suspicions. Definitely Silver Stake, based on the clothing. There's no doubt about that. But something feels off.
It's pretty vague for someone who's leaving the stake. How long were you gone hunting?
Just a few hours. It's pretty barren
It was-
out there.
Yeah, maybe 3 hours.
Do they know that you left?
I mean, I'm really hoping that they haven't figured it out yet. I was hoping to get maybe a little, maybe like a day's worth of head time. Hopefully without a track, but
And how do you plan to get off the island? You got a boat?
Can you fly?
I was honestly gonna hope for the best. I've heard that there are a few things in the water, but I figured that maybe if I just had a little bit of faith, you know, it would all pan out okay.
I think that's where the problem mostly lies. I'm going to look at Genevieve. Does she seem sure that Nettle is good?
Make an insight check.
Okay.
I'm going to say baseline, this is your wife. She seems trusting of Nettle. She's only spoken well of Nettle to this point. However,
22.
22. On a 22, you can see this look from Genevieve. And the two of you don't have a psychic connection, but she's giving you this look like, we have a boat.
Right. What can you tell us about the inner workings of the Silver Stake?
More importantly, do you know how to heal anybody?
I can heal in moderation, but I can't really do anything for the dead. I'm very sorry.
So you haven't been marked as an apostate yet?
Fingers crossed. We're kind of hoping.
Right.
I don't really have any way to get in contact with him once I've left, and quite frankly, I don't really have.
You know anything about the security routes or anything that could be of use to us in our current situation?
Mind if I
Like
look
how
through your
many?
shit?
Look through my sheet.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so I'll take off my bag. You can look through anything that is in the bag, but I am keeping my clothes on.
I won't take your clothes.
Okay.
So how many stake are there on the island?
There's a city full of them.
City.
More of a village.
There's a decent amount. I don't really.
So they live here like all the time? They haven't just been coming out this way for one certain reason recently?
Do I know that?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
If the Silver Stake village is just like always
Self-contained.
there, they live there, or if they've been like moving over here recently for a particular reason.
I would say
Like how established is this village?
that Nettle is aware that the village is very established. But that being said, there has been an influx of newcomers in the last maybe 15 days.
Okay.
And they're all, the whole village is Silver Stake.
At least of what I know. I mean, I didn't really jest with anyone that wasn't Silver Stake.
Are they all, are there families, children?
Yeah. If you need a second do you have a way to pull up that document that I sent you?
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's okay. I can answer these questions for you if you'd like, but that is up to you.
You're copying?
We have 4 days, right? We can't really muck about in a cave for too long questioning someone. our plan is to, I imagine you've seen things or maybe made a deal with someone in your dreams. Our plan is to rid this, I would say, plane of that being. If you would like to come along, you're welcome to, I guess. But that's our plan as of right now.
Genevieve, how much of our situation did you explain?
Very little. Only that
I don't know who you really are other than tagging along with the apostate, you know?
it really was. I was doing my best to try and get your bodies down from the wall, and Nettle happened across us, and
Well, thank you for that.
there was a tense moment where I thought, maybe they were back up. But in the moment I had to make a decision, and I decided to trust them. And it's gotten us this far. Alive and out of chains, at least.
Well, from the outside of the Silver Stake, what we know is, I'm gonna give the rundown of the
Yeah.
Night Hag
Camera
and how
pans up.
Absolutely.
Hands back down.
If Nettle would like,
Fire is smaller.
if Nettle would like to reciprocate, I can go ahead and give you guys some information.
Yeah.
Or if you'd like to, you can.
So basically, what I know is that there's like a small town there. It's like within 2 miles-ish within the walls.
It's called the Silvered Hearth.
Yes. Not all of them are warriors. Mostly like scientists, alchemists, and honestly, just like a bunch of people who have been lied to. I know that there's a temple
What's
called the
temple?
Lantern.
Oh, that's where we're supposed to go. Do you know where it is inside of town?
Yeah.
Could you draw it on a map?
I can grab Aurora's map.
What did you
Yeah.
all want with the apostate? Just death, or was there something to be done?
There really isn't any going back once you leave the church, you know?
So anyone can be an apostate? Oh,
I understand how that sounds, you know, in hindsight, without really looking into it, but it's not really sold that way.
There was a whole pile of them that looks like it had been going on for years. That it's not just that the apostates can't return to the church; it's that they are killed.
Yes, there.
speaking of, have you killed anyone in the name of the church?
Yes. Yes. I killed for what I thought was right. Can you really look at me and say that you haven't done the same?
No.
I learned that I was wrong. And is it not noble enough to be leaving now?
It's
It's
not a judgment call, it's just something that would come up later, I imagine.
There's nothing to communicate with the church in this bag.
So you said that you don't know who all of us are.
I mean, I don't know you personally. I know.
So if we were to change our clothes and walk into this village, how many people would see us and immediately think they're being captured?
We've been called the prophecy before.
It's true.
By attackers. Twice.
How are you all informed about goings on?
I mean, everything comes from the scientists. So it just sort of trickles down, you know? The men who are doing all of the lab work, all the experiments, they sort of call us out and they'll bring us forth, and all of this information is just announced.
So-
And then we as warriors for the stake, we will pass it along to those beneath us, and it will eventually arrive at civilians.
Would you necessarily recognize somebody who doesn't belong to the village on first sight?
There's been a pretty large influx the last 10 days, give or take a day, of new people. I imagine one could slip in if...
Is everyone dressed like this?
Yes, everyone does wear, I'm sorry. Everyone does wear what used to be, the robes, of the stake. It was a very,
Even just regular villagers.
well, yeah, they'll still wear the robes. They maybe won't have the armor underneath, and I'll sort of lift my robes at the side, and it is a full plate armor
You got
underneath.
any more clothes?
It looks very familiar to all of you.
Your
The plate armor, I should say.
can you prestidigitate? That's something that we're actually missing in the group. We have some of these clothes that you speak of,
Oh, right, but they have the black spots on them.
and blood.
I can't prestidigitate, but I do have extra robes.
You have extra robes.
How many?
Honestly, probably enough to get about how many of you are there?
We're traveling.
Currently 5.
Probably enough to suit about 4 to 6 of you. I
we
don't
can
really...
work with that. Lamb's got a how to disguise.
One can be a prisoner, right? If we don't have enough.
Could work out.
Okay.
Looking through, they're all sized for you, but you do have about 6 variations of robes.
Do any of these mean something different? You know, would we have to address each other differently in
No.
public? Right. Good.
How do people address each other? You know what I mean? Like, is it like, oh, hello, brother Nettle, good to see ya? Or is it just kind of, hey, Nettle, how's it going?
And
Love
what's the culture of the
lantern.
Silver Stake?
Well,
I sure do love evil.
I mostly,
What are we working with?
I mostly performed the night rituals, the night magics and miracles of providing food.
Okay.
Well, you guys have been out there. It's really hard to catch something. Fish are disgusting. They have teeth and
That's probably.
We have
That's
their
butts.
slave-
Do you have butts?
Butts.
We've heard that they're actually not bad once you cook them up.
well,
I won't eat anything else that has butt cheeks except myself.
they
You won't even recognize that it's
they
bad.
actually are very quite dangerous.
Gen Z's gonna hate that.
I'm not really sure what they do, but some people have come up sick or unable to fight. Or
You ate chicken
unconscious.
once.
Here?
Does chicken have a butt?
I ate a chicken here.
You saying
Here, but just chicken.
Oh, chicken doesn't have butt cheeks.
Kind of have butt cheeks. They're
No.
covered by feathers.
Make a
So-
chicken's ass clap and we'll talk.
if I may cut in here? You said
Please.
you said you perform nightly rituals to create food.
Yes.
Could you do that right now? Or are we expected to feed all 8 of us on that measly squirrel?
Okay, so first of all,
There's 2.
there are 2 fucking squirrels.
Right.
And I did my best. I was out there for 3 hours, and quite frankly, I don't see not a single
Have you checked their throats by chance?
throat.
The animals around here are
Can I open up its mouth?
not well.
One of the squirrels.
Oh,
Make a-
I can purify
Oh,
food once
once it's dead.
yeah.
Oh,
Oh, well, we
So-
should be having fried alligator,
That's-
and that's it.
That's kind of why I thought I might be able to make a break for it, you know, if I had the ring and also the ability to.
right.
What
well,
ring?
well, if you're
It
trying,
makes the food.
Oh,
I mean, it might be a little bit more complicated than you think. I remember seeing some birds on the beach, but other than that, everything that we've come across, other than that crocodile, is either dead or died right in
well,
front of
whatever
us.
the thing was in the sand that was eating the birds.
That's true, but we don't know if that's edible. That could be some sort of trap they put in
There's
place.
something out in the sand.
Yeah, stick to the marble patches on the beach.
Well, wait, if she doesn't know about it, it's not a trap. It's probably food then. Could be food.
I mean, how much do you know about this village? This village is on the other side of the wall, I presume.
Yes. About
How-
2 miles. Closer to the tree.
Right. And how much do you know about what goes on outside of the walls?
So I was a convert. I lived outside of Ravengul for about 6 years until I lost my parents and I ended up sort of being picked up with the church.
But in your time with the church, did you spend a lot of it outside of that wall?
No. I've been training for this position for a very long time, so a lot of it was inside the church, reading texts, taking care of the elderly, making sure that they were okay.
No, I can't, obviously substantiate this, but I have a sneaking suspicion that wall is meant to keep others out just as much as it is to keep them inside.
Right? Something we should
Did you
think
go
about.
over the wall?
Could I have Rabbit and Silas make a quick history check for me? Not a
I've
crazy
never been
DC.
over the wall again once I got in. No.
How long ago
11.
did you join the Silver Stake?
Are you trying to figure out my age?
A little bit.
It was about 21 years ago. I'm 27.
Did you ever hear of anybody named Wellington Duvet in the stake?
Name ring out.
Doesn't ring any bells.
Right.
I'm sorry. I mostly
Silas, on an 11, you do recall whenever you used your shadow step to get up on top of the wall, the one member of the patrol group that attacked Rabbit was the only member that was on your side of the wall. The other 3 were on the far side, looking the other way, until he raised the alarm.
So if we can just do a thing where we climb up and press triangle and take them down real fast.
You
seem
say
to
that,
Assassin's Creed.
Hallucinations over there, kitten.
you say that all the time, and I have no idea what you're talking
I don't
about.
know what it means. No one understands the
I think you
triangle.
just Assassin's Creed.
Are you just, is this some sort of like sneaky fighting thing that you do? You just.
Press triangle.
Is it like something in your throat? If you just press it, somebody explodes or something?
They pass it. They're incapacitated,
Alright.
so they can't. raise
Silas,
them
come here, let me try.
Press triangle.
You're not going to try. This is all well and good. You're trying to leave. We're trying to go back in. Are we crossing paths here, or are you joining us? Because
How
we are,
about this?
we are breaking into this prison.
Listen,
If you help us,
no offense. I have no interest in letting her join. I say
Why?
we send her to the boat on the shore.
Listen,
Did-
I really appreciate the offer. But I can't really go back. I'm willing to do whatever I can do to help you guys. It seems like you're going in there with the express plan to take them down.
You know how to raise the dead?
I'm sorry.
do you know anyone that does? That would do it as a personal favor to you?
We know somebody who would do it as a personal favor.
Not too many of the clerics know what she looks like, and I don't think that there's a single cleric underneath the stake that would bring her back with the way that they talk about her.
Who did the gentle repose on Aurora then?
Did that hat change your face or just your clothes?
It can change your entire being.
Except for your height.
Yeah, so
But you can't
It
do
is-
it to someone else.
yeah,
they
so-
have to like think of it while they're wearing it.
correct. But yeah, it is an illusion. So like you could make yourself look up to a foot taller, but if somebody like tried to touch your head, it would go right through. Or like if you reached out to grab something, it would.
You know,
there'd
like
be
when
some-
people try to chop your face, if you were taller, they would just chop through nothing.
Like when people do that.
yeah, the perfect disguise.
I
When
was just
people try to
thinking,
press triangle on your throat,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, but your throat.
I'm sorry. I feel like we're skipping past something here. So again, I hate to try and take charge of things, but we are on a bit of a time crunch. It seems like you don't really have any interest in helping us out, or the means to do so. No, I mean no offense. I absolutely understand why you would want to get the hell off this island. We do have a boat at a cove south of here. I can show it to you on that map that Cholula handed you. Boatman's name is Ren. If he's still alive, just
Keep him alive.
tell him the Mistwalker sent you and to come back and get us in 4 days' time. Rabbit, you said we know someone? You know someone?
I don't know if it's a
Well, we
good
all
idea to
know
use it that early.
Well, I mean, I can only spare the dying. I can't really do anything while she's this far gone. I'm really sorry, but if I'm the person you're talking about, it's not me.
Nope. Who is
But
it?
thank you.
It's a coin, isn't it?
What? Does he know how to do that?
Not in the way you think.
Oh, do you think that Aurora would be okay with that?
I think we can figure that part out later.
I mean, Pippin, how are you enjoying lycanthropy?
I mean, I thought it was going to be a lot more helpful than it was. But to be fair, we are, fighting an organization who has based themselves around eradicating people of my persuasion. So, I mean, if I were off this island fighting anybody else, probably it'd be great, I guess. I mean, I still felt in control of myself. And it doesn't feel like, you know how they say in the stories that when the full moon rises, that the beast overcomes you and all that. It feels like I'm standing at the door and I can hear it scratching, like it wants to come out, but I'm still in control of when that is. Does that make sense?
I wonder if that's because of being a shifter, or because the ones that we fought in that tiny village, we had met them when they were in their other form. I don't think they would have attacked us because of they invited us to join them,
Right. Well, I
Anyway.
mean, they didn't seem to have any problem attacking us.
But
when
what
we were
about
outside.
the sunlight thing?
Yeah, there are days between now and then.
Then we travel at night. It's what we were doing anyway.
Like, I'm so sorry. What are you guys saying?
We have a coin that is so
I think
hard
maybe
to explain.
I think maybe the less we say, the better.
Yeah. So, before we tell you where this ship is there anything you can do to help us get into the wall or closer to the wall? Apart from the uniforms, of course. But
Like ID cards.
I mean, in a way, they've already kind of helped us quite a bit.
right. I mean, you've helped a lot.
Well, no. I mean, in that sense, we had to travel along the wall north to a section that's a little more run down. It was easier to get your unconscious bodies down that way, rather than just trying to, scale the wall.
This is a lot harder to climb than it seemed like it would be.
Exactly, but this portion was much easier to climb. It was collapsed in such a way that it was more like platforms than just rock climbing.
I love the platform.
I remember how to get back there.
You said this current position is 2 miles from the
No,
village.
it's 2 miles from the wall.
And how far are we from the wall currently?
We are about. Hang on, I have this.
This matters as far as traveling at night with our no daytime friend.
So the hag said that we were to fight at the lantern, correct?
You're currently about 3 miles north of the wall.
You can do
Or sorry.
5 miles in a day. Easy.
3 miles east, but further north than you are.
In a night, easy.
Nighttime is the same amount of time as day.
We can just keep coming back here because it's the only place we know that is without sunlight.
Or
It's also easier to move quietly by night.
Right. You're telling
you-
me.
And I'm just saying this as bless you.
Who was that?
As a former woman of the underneath the stake, if you're talking about turning your friend into a vampire, I think they just have some disadvantages during the day, and if they stay relatively covered, a good umbrella, maybe a bit of change of clothes.
We've tried the umbrella thing in this world. It's fucking impossible. It's like a 40-foot frog involved. I'm not sure. Trust me, I really
why
wanted
couldn't
quality.
you just go to a general store?
We
He
asked
wanted
for-
a better umbrella because he had the money.
No, I just wanted a umbrella. They had none or 30-foot frog umbrella. It
What
was
did
ridiculous.
you do? Go to like an armor or something to get an umbrella?
This town had nothing. It had a place with a snake for the door,
It had more than a lot of other towns had, though.
and a shop that was closed because the guy was gone. That's about all we saw.
You've got terrible luck.
I stopped at a great general store on my way down to murder you folk.
Oh, nice.
Fred's, it was called, or something.
That sounds good.
Pips, I forgot you were trying to murder us.
Yeah,
Well,
I forgot that was part of it.
well, yeah, I mean, it wasn't my own will.
No, I understand. I just
maybe you could
forgot.
say like before I met you or something.
I'll try that next time. It was a great little shop. They had a whole basket full of umbrellas.
Good. Were you in your own mind when you found these good deals?
Well, I didn't need one. I mostly stocked up on,
But-
poison ingredients.
Anyway, so a large hat could do with a big brim that perhaps one could use to disguise themselves along the way as well.
You don't want to fill up on poison.
We have that.
Yeah. Oh, a hood, a cloak, all
Great.
reasonable.
We're swimming and stuff like that.
It's not impossible, but I would just warn you that all of the silver stakes weapons are silvered.
Right.
So
That's part of it.
you would.
Yes.
It seems like this friend is particularly prone to getting stabbed up by the stake.
No, yeah, we're gonna keep her as stab-free as possible.
She actually lasted longer than the rest of us.
Unless you assuming any of this works.
Right.
Right.
For all we know, that coin could be a dud. Could have just been trying to get rid of you.
So by morning,
He wouldn't do that.
Yeah, you don't know this one. He's dishonorable in the way of killing animals right in front of you, but seems well.
Really, truly, the biggest risk to somebody doing something like that is that I live through whatever it is they've sent me to do, and the coin didn't work.
I keep imagining the coin working, and then he just comes out like, oh, okay. Good.
Well, I just mean that, you might want to take a little bit careful care of that one,
Thanks. Coming from a silver stake person, I just don't. I stand up and do the Silas walk away, mumbling. Silver stake's telling me to
with an
be
insult
careful
on the
now."
way out. Every
just-
time he goes into a
know.
new place.
I don't mind him really.
I'm gonna-
He's very.
I think it's a wonderful thing that you're doing. It's very hard to up and leave everything.
Yeah, he may not look it, but he was one of the first to mention that, some of the silver stake might just have been regular people that were misled.
It's okay. I worked in, I took care of the elderly back at, well, I know an old grouch when I see one. So, he thinks I'm not going to work my little ways into that heart,
Oh, now there's laughter. Of course, there's laughter now. Just in the back
It's
of the
okay.
cave as soon as
If you want, I can break open his chest cavity so you can get closer.
It's okay.
All right.
I know
Next time.
that the easiest way into a man's heart is food.
and I don't know how this
Under the
works,
ribs.
but I'm just gonna twist it a few times and make food. I hope it's not.
Is it real?
Yeah, so worth noting.
Yeah.
Let me actually check on this
Like
really
I think it's
quickly.
like 3 charges a day.
It's one. Yours has 1 charge per day.
Is it Magnificent Feast?
No, this is a ring of create food and water.
Yo.
45 pounds of food appear before you on the cave
That's
floor.
45 Chipotle burritos.
They don't make them
Basically.
that big anymore.
It feels like so much less when you say it that way.
Does it?
It's like 400 deviled eggs.
But yeah, I mean,
45 hospital visits.
I will let Nettle describe what type of food is produced. It can be
45
a number of
Chipotle.
things. It can be all burritos. Up to you. They are canonical in this world. We've decided from the
I
library.
didn't say it. I'm out of the room.
Absolutely nothing but pasta. And this is honestly a good penne with toasted and blistered sausage and tomatoes, and like this really nice crusty bread with probably a shit ton of olive oil and salt and butter, and then just like this little roasted hen in the middle. It's not little, but it's like a good size
Like a
roasted hen.
40-pound hen.
The thickest.
No, we have a lot of pasta.
Five
so it's
pounds of
like,
5 pounds of pasta, 40-pound hen.
what does 5 pounds of pasta look like?
It's not that much.
It depends on if it's cooked, and I assume it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cooked
Where-
pasta's
So-
heavier.
There is a veritable feast produced before all of you.
Everyone eats
I was gonna
pasta.
check the surroundings outside if I could.
Yeah, make a perception check.
I'm gonna go ahead and like clean up Aurora.
Okay.
I assume she's still covered in blood.
Yeah, no check required. And it looks like Genevieve did do what she could.
21.
21. As you approach the mouth of the cave,
I'm gonna have my shadow like hold binoculars up.
yeah, you take a few steps out and are looking around. It is definitely nighttime. You can see the silver light of the tree kind of spreading over the island of Chandragora, as well as a touch of moonlight coming from the other direction. And turning around, you have this like brief moment of panic as you turn around and just see a stone cliff face. And you kind of like stand there for a second, take a few steps forward, and move your hands through and realize that it is an illusory cover to the cave mouth.
Oh, now the cave is not even here, so good luck finding it, I guess. Is that food? Do I smell food?
Oh, do you smell it in the middle of calling enemies to find us through the cave wall?
Can you guys keep it down?
Oh, right, sorry.
Get in here.
I yelled into the cave.
Genevieve is like, I'm not sure what it was, but once we found the cave, I was thinking, I was trying to think of anything I could come up with, maybe, piling up branches to try and hide the front, and the whispers got really loud, and it started to kind of hurt my head, but I thought about what you said, and I listened, and one of them seemed very practiced with arcane arts, and he did this for us.
You said whispers? Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I know we're not keeping secrets.
I think you were already unconscious, but it happened during the battle, too.
You made a cliff face.
No, something different happened. It was like your shadow stretched down from the wall all the way to me, and it's like I could hear your voice, but different. But it was just saying, take this. So I reached down, and it was some kind of sword, but it felt like I was
A
holding...
blade that doesn't make physical damage?
Yeah, they kept bleeding from their noses and eyes when I would slash them across their bodies with
And then I'm going to turn to my shadow and just scream at it. Like, briefly, but not like forever, but for a long time.
Yeah, Pippin comes up behind you and like covers your mouth physically, and it's just like, shh.
Okay.
We are
I'm cool.
hard.
I'm cool. I'm cool.
Oh, listen, you're here.
You bastard.
So, are we gonna try to summon our friend tonight
I think so.
and start
I don't
moving?
think
How
waiting's a
long
good
does
idea.
that sort of thing take to
He said
go
instantaneously.
into effect? No, not the coin, the turn.
Why don't we ask the expert?
I mean, yeah, it would probably be ideal to ask him.
We don't even know if something like this is possible.
If the plan was to get the jump on this fight before we have, 3 days? If we're counting tomorrow, right? If we're counting dawn.
So,
if it's day 4.
It was the morning of day 5. This last morning, and you were all out for about 15 or 16 hours.
15 or 16 hours.
Yeah.
This is a different day. Yeah, we have
it's-
to call him tonight.
It's night.
Everybody concussion check real fast.
So it'll be 4 days in the morning. That will be the 4th day counting down. Because it was the morning of the 5th day, and then you all got knocked out and slept through that entire
through the
day.
whole day.
And now it's like around probably 11 p.m. to midnight.
We should call.
Right. So, okay. What time of night is it?
About around midnight.
So if we call him here now, which is a day earlier than what he'd planned, we don't know how long this will take.
But we have the time.
If it doesn't happen until morning, then we can't travel because, well, he probably has something he carries with him.
He either
to
has something on his own,
cover,
or
so-
we can take that day to plan.
We are sort
right?
of under a giant tree cover no matter where we go, but I don't know how much sun peeks through the leaves. I'd say it's up to you, Rabbit. If you want to go ahead and call him now,
It's up to me.
we can get
I
started.
say we
You
can,
have the coin.
I say we can vote, and you know mine.
An attempt to not metagame. Aurora does have a cloak that has a hood. So I think the fear of daytime traveling should
He also has
be less.
Alma's
Hat.
hat disguise.
Have
thing.
disguise.
And
So if
And you've also all been gifted from Nettle Silver Stake robe disguises as well.
Baldwin,
Valdwin is the dean, yeah.
fuck yeah, good memory job. Oh my god.
he's probably got like a cloak or something.
I'm holding the coin.
He's been a vampire for
I'm
a
gonna
long
squeeze the
time.
coin. Speak now,
If-
or forever hold your peace.
If it is early, he might not have all the things he was supposed to bring.
But he will have vampire abilities, and that is what we need right now.
Okay.
I'm squeezing the coin. I'm gonna do it.
How are you gonna count down?
Nobody's gonna be pissed if this doesn't all work out. We're not gonna say Rabbit's a fucking idiot.
I
right?
mean, I think we'll all be pissed if
I'm-
nothing works out. But
Yeah.
it's
well,
not
but
your
he won't
fault.
be pissed at me. It's not
No.
my fault.
I'm always pissed at you. Just squeeze the fucking coin.
Okay.
You know what? While he's biting Aurora, I'm gonna bite you, just for good measure.
Well,
I squeeze the coin.
Roll a d100, please.
D100?
Yes. You'll recall in the past, we spoke of a percentage chance that he could, be exposed.
Naked! Oh no! What were those
What was-
odds?
I'll go ahead and tell you.
Was it
there's
10?
there's a 10% chance,
Yes!
That he'll be nude.
or something.
Oh, okay. Well, it's a 55.
Oh, yeah.
okay.
I'm sorry.
Wait, does it
everyone.
go up? Was if it was 15?
Yeah,
we should
he's
start
more
with-
naked.
You
It's
rabbit.
the most naked he could be.
Rabbit, you squeeze the coin in your hands, and as you do, dark shadow, darker than the shadows of the cave, begins to pour down from your hands, from the coin. You can feel it dissolving in your hand as it kind of spreads across the ground and forms this kind of oblong shape, then rising up from the shadow in full, like, vampire, like, arms crossed pose is...
So do I just see a guy laying down?
Well,
He's
no.
probably teaching classes.
You see as he rises headfirst from the ground, similar to the way that Silas appears from shadow.
Right, but I don't see magical shadows. Do I do?
Oh, well, you can see through them, but you're aware that they are present.
What is everyone looking at?
So yeah, you see as he rises from the ground and kind of extends his arms, takes a deep breath. You're a day early, and you've made some friends.
You're
Things
there.
have gone topsy-turvy, shiddly-widdly, if you would.
Well, but
Oh.
this is one of my brothers, Pippin.
Pleasure to meet you.
Hey, this is Silas's wife, Genevieve.
Pleasure to meet you as well.
I'm Nettle.
We just
Ah.
met,
Hello.
leaving the Silver Stake currently.
He takes like a step back.
It's
No, it's fine.
yep. We think, but it's fine for now.
It's fine, right?
It's they just turned my grandma into a monster, so I'm leaving.
We have a...
Oh, your grandma.
I was gonna ask
I'm
about-
sorry to hear that.
What happened?
They were performing was they called miracles on people within the town. They made her grotesque.
Black appendages, like squiddy.
Very very squiddy.
Who's this?
My grandmother.
Oh,
It's fucked up.
Oh,
Her
Val.
name was Nina.
Yes.
we have a large favor to ask
Yeah.
of you.
Right. I noticed that we're not in the throes of battle.
Nope.
We
No.
were.
Also worth noting, Valdon has like his back perfectly turned to Aurora at the back of the cave behind him. He's kind of like facing all of you.
Alright, that's fine. Don't turn around just yet. We'll get there.
Are you hungry? Is that a bad question to ask?
I don't think
I
that's
made
gonna be
pasta.
done.
Well,
I've
I
fed
conjured
today.
pasta.
I'm sorry. So you, Nettle, you said you were leaving.
Yeah, I'm gonna take their boat. Probably do like a little swapperoo with the driver. You know,
Wonderful.
back.
Best of luck in your travels.
Standard. Aurora's died. But she died after we all collapsed and
I see.
fell in a fight.
The only thing
We
we could
will-
think. No, if you want to.
We were wondering if you might be able to do the thing that you do.
You know when someone's
You know
like,
how you are.
right?
I
Could ya?
understand what you're getting at.
An option.
Could you say it?
You would like for me to impart the sanguine curse upon Aurora's body.
Yes.
Yes,
No,
I
that
didn't-
was, we
gonna
appreciate
say
that.
way
But just in case
Yeah.
your thought was like, could we throw her into the ocean? Yes, I could do that. I understand
Precisely.
what you're saying. If you don't
I
communicate,
didn't think you would really need my personal help with anything like that.
maybe we're not strong enough emotionally
Right.
to handle it. Anyway, communication is key in these types of things.
Right. Well,
I'm gonna put my
You
shirt
say
back
it.
on.
No, you
What do
say
you
it.
think it is?
before we get to this business, he takes off a satchel, regular satchel, not a bag of holding. I was only able to procure 12 potions of healing. There are more being, created, but they were to be ready on the morrow. This strange contraption. He has like a little spray bottle. Seems like some sort of potion, perfume situation.
Sort of.
Protection from good and evil, 2 uses, as I'm told.
Right.
As far as Aurora is concerned, if it does work, and that relies on a few key factors, I need you to understand the severity of what you're asking me. This ritual will not return your friend to life. I would be inflicting her with a potent curse, one that brings a semblance of life, yes, but also an unyielding hunger. She would never again be comfortable in the sunlight. In addition, she would be unable to enter any residence without an invitation from one of the occupants, And I can tell you from experience that entering involuntarily will cause quite a traumatic pain. And finally, every 7 days, she will have to feed.
Oh, she can bite me. It's fine.
I suggest animals, but they must be alive. If she doesn't feed within that period, well, then she will be compelled to feed from the nearest source, and most likely will not be able to quench that thirst quickly.
So if there are,
I don't know how comfortable I feel making this decision for someone else's body.
there are not a lot of animals around, but there are a lot of silver steak.
Of course. And if someone were to get hungry enough,
Who knows?
they don't really see a difference.
And once we're done with them, we're off this island, and
And then-
there's plenty of animals everywhere else, apparently.
What I'm
Not
more-
here.
Or like in a pinch, like I have so much blood. I have more blood than the average person probably.
I could
I
sense
probably
that.
have more
about
blood
So
than
it's
Rabbit
fine.
does.
As such,
Do you say you have more blood than me?
I think I do.
I think we should stab each other and find out.
I think perhaps that can wait.
Yeah, it can wait, can't it?
What
All right,
I'm...
well
Well, I build up more blood.
we'll ask Aurora when she wakes up who has more blood.
Yeah, we will ask.
Listen, anyone at Wilt Bloom can tell you that I am not really the source that you come to for advice on morality of different situations.
Same.
But as such, I could potentially be putting all of you in danger by carrying out this ritual. I need you to be certain. If you need time, we've got time. If you'd like to discuss it further.
I don't feel comfortable making a decision for someone else's body.
Well, she can't make it right now.
Are you able to do that thing where you can ask them questions after they've died?
Let me make a quick perception check. That would be speak with dead.
No, definitely not speak dead.
If we could just ask her.
Genevieve, how long has it been since you've meditated?
Nettle kept watch for about 4 hours, so I've gotten one in since our run-in with the stake.
Would you mind taking a listen for Aurora by chance?
I can try.
Thank you. And don't force anything, just listen for the tone of voice.
It might be easier if...
we all
Oh,
turn our
right,
backs.
yeah, we could leave or just-
I'd prefer if maybe you... just near the edge of the illusion. You don't have to go outside.
Okay, yeah, we can do that.
It's a good, 40-foot cave.
Let me know
Get
if
some
you
distance.
need anything.
Step over all these pastas.
So, Robert, can you still eat snacks and stuff? Or,
Oh, yes, you can consume foods. It
Okay.
just does nothing.
So, really, she's lost nothing.
But you can taste them.
Yes, it's not... It's been so long. It's not the same.
You don't
Hand him a meatball
Choice.
with my hand.
I hope it's that big, as big as your hand just was.
Nettle fixes a full plate of pasta and just gently eats while watching.
Make a very important canonical decision right now, and say that he full on Marceline style, just takes the all of the liquid, the essence of the meatball,
Oh, it's
and it just kind of
crumbly dry meat.
and it just kind of becomes ashy in his hands. Delicious. Genevieve.
So there's two flavors. That's what counts.
I thought he would eat something. To be polite. Oh, I can't, I shouldn't. But you made it all dusty.
Well, yes, I mean, there's always
You can't
waste, isn't there?
Judge the way people eat, dude. That's wrong.
Well, I have a question. Can you get drunk still? If you
Yes.
consume alcohol?
If the
But
person is drunk.
yes, or the animal.
Wow. I was just writing fan fiction in my head, and it's true.
Yes, no, I once
Well, it
came
doesn't
across
take
a.
too much anyway.
I once came across a black bear in the swamp that had gotten into some fermented apples from our dumpsters. It was quite a time for me, I'll tell you. As you're all walking away.
He got drunk off of a bear's blood.
Yes.
Not a person's blood.
Yes.
Did you drink all of the bear?
No.
Or some of the bear?
Just, well, I couldn't eat a whole bear. That's it.
I know, silly
Did you
me.
know the bear was? Would you walk up to the bear like that? That bear is tits up right now.
Well, I wasn't aware at the time. I thought as I captured it, that was a bit easy.
Remind me,
You could imagine my surprise about 30 minutes later.
remind me to ask you about the animals when we're done with all this.
Of course. Genevieve has a seat, and I would like to have Miranda roll a D100.
Okay.
I'm going to say with the body of Aurora present,
Okay.
and with the unfinished business that Aurora has.
And Genevieve being like
There
there.
is not enough.
Yeah.
I want to kill my father.
There is a 70% chance
Okay.
of Genevieve making contact. So you need to just roll a 70 or lower.
$76.
No way.
Oh, my dude.
I think it's a 67. If we really look back at the replay.
About 15 minutes pass before Genevieve
Never rolled over 45.
before Genevieve returns to all of you. I'm sorry. It's possible that she is here and she could be yelling at me at the top of her lungs, but
Hey, you'll find.
it's so loud on this
It's-
island.
Yes, right. It's new and it's probably the worst place you can be doing it. You'll find though. Again, no pressure. There.
It's okay. The pasta was pretty.
Listen,
I'm really proud of you though, from the things I've heard.
whether or not we can talk to her right now, she can be pissed at us later if she didn't want to be a vampire.
And what's the number one thing you want to be pissed at you?
It's also worth noting,
A vampire.
for the most part, she would retain her personality. Obviously, when it gets closer to that edge of 7 days without having fed, things get a bit touch and go from time to time.
Well, that's true of anybody if they're hungry.
Of course, anyone can be hangry. It's just more of a compulsion for people like me. But that also said, there are ways to remove curses from someone.
Oh, we could look into that. Do you
Maybe that's what
Do
we'll say
you
when she's
have to-
really mad.
do you have to feed directly from the source?
Yes, you must find a vein of a living being and drink from it. You need not drain it fully.
Right. So if we wanted to sort of tag team,
Right, if you were stuck in some sort of
if
position,
we could just be a little group of snacks.
say you
We're already a little group of snacks.
Say you
It's
decide to
great.
take an expedition to the dunes in Vasica overseas, and there are no lizards or camels to be found, and it's just the four
Right.
of you, or the six of you. That is a possibility, but I would do it closer to a prior feeding than further.
Right.
Right.
So like every 3 days, so she doesn't eat us entirely.
Yes, I have been honing my control over centuries, but I do recall at first there are almost stages to the transformation. She may like it. She may decide, that as more benefits, and albeit downsides, present themselves as she becomes more accustomed to the curse and it becomes more inset, she may be happy about it.
Is it painful?
No. It's
Well-
actually quite the opposite. I hardly feel anything.
I think let's do
I
it.
like flick his arm. What about that?
Nothing.
Did you feel that?
I felt that something happened, because otherwise, how could you function? I'd be, cutting myself and burning myself left and right. But I can feel things, but pain is just lessened. It's like I've got a higher tolerance.
Is there a way
That's
to
fantastic.
combat against silvered weapons?
Against them, good armor. There's not really a way that I know of bolstering yourself against that.
She has plenty of that.
I mean, in fairness, it doesn't hurt you, like, more than... if I was stabbed with a regular dagger, that would hurt.
Oh, you're...
It's not...
I see. You're inquiring. So,
It's not that
she will
just
not
because
be...
it's silver,
No,
it
she
hurts
would,
more.
she would not be more susceptible. It would hurt her in the same way that other weapons would hurt her. She, at least in the early stages of the Sanguine Curse, would not gain any resistances to any types of specific spells or weapons, nor she gain vulnerability to them.
Same.
I just want to say, Nettle, this is not what is going on everywhere outside of that village. It's not this all the time.
I'm the dean of a college.
He is. Very good
Actually,
one.
always wanted to go to college.
I'll let you go to college.
So if
You'll
you
be
find
very
yourself in
close to
Kalima,
the college when you take the boat back.
I might look that up.
yes, just
I
a
was
couple
a
of hours.
cell agent for a... I guess I can say it, the Harpers. And an absent father. She was a cook.
No, sorry, I'm a cook, but still a cook.
I was
in the
raised to be an
woods.
assassin.
That's fine. I mean, I was raised for paladin work, you know. It was I chose not to go out on the fields. It was gross. So I just chose to protect the older.
Oh, you want to not wear that out there.
Oh, yeah.
You want to not even look like that at all out there.
Okay.
It's kind of,
The arm is probably fine. Just
yeah.
the all white is doesn't send the right message in a lot of towns.
Okay. Also, if you wear that while you're trying to sneak around in the outside to get to the boat, you're gonna be spotted like instantly.
I'm not really good at sneaking anyway, you know.
Yeah.
Clanging all around, you know.
There's a lot of those miracles happening out there. People have been trying to stop. But you've got it. You're good. You're resilient.
You mean outside of Ravengoul?
Yeah. That's why I knew about the tentacle. He studied it.
I didn't realise it had spread that far.
One of our friends had.
Two of them.
Oh, how is Roscoe, by the way?
Ah, Master Samson. He is recovering quite well. We weren't able to save the arm, but we were able to save the leg. And
Alright, he's getting the fancy prosthetic.
yes, it's already been outfitted and built. He's training with it, probably as we speak.
And his
He doesn't
mind
like
is
to-
good,
Yes, he's got a few gaps here and there.
but he's himself,
Right,
is what I
it's-
mean.
It's
Yes.
possible to reverse the experimentation.
With
It's
a lot
not
of work.
easy.
It is still experimental, and again, we were. It's less that we were able to cure it, and more that we were able to isolate it and sever it.
I feel like we should bring Aurora back.
Just now you agreed with this.
I mean, before we get too much into all this, she'll want to know about it, and we'll have to go back over
And we've
all
got-
of the news.
We've got
What-
daylight pretty soon.
What do you need to be able to... Just like these and...
Well, I will need to be
Oh,
alone with the body for a couple of hours, and probably need the strongest healing potion that you've got.
She's got one.
does.
Aurora has a supreme.
I've got one greater.
She has a supreme
Yes.
potion on her body. That will do.
Before you do that, there's a thing about this island. I was going to ask you about the animals. So it seems whatever's going on here is poisoning the island, and all of the animals are choking up something that disappears and they die. And when Aurora fell, and you can see some when you walk in there, but where her blood spilled, these silver blossoms sort of sprang up out of, and they're even in here in this cave where nothing is growing.
Let me have a look.
I collected a few of them, but I don't know what it's about, but that's something.
He's done this before for you guys. He's going to identify the sprouts.
Cool. I didn't want to like ask him to do it, but I figured if it was his idea, he'd be down.
A very small part of me
You
hoped
just
it was
Inception.
advanced. He's done this before for you guys, but he fucking he busts loose. It's crazy. He just starts dancing for like 20 minutes.
Did you guys ever see Dracula break it down?
I think he
No
would
music.
I feel like Baldwin would be more into like ballet.
Yeah,
Fair,
that would be.
fair.
That would feel like forever.
Oh, his boyfriend would definitely.
Garlic.
Oh yeah, his boyfriend works.
Yes.
He just throws that.
He
at
just
us.
throws
Years ago.
Baldwin,
Oh, it probably does like it's like the orb dancing thing.
Oh yeah. He's more into house.
Baldwin kneels and waves his hands over the sprouts. You see that familiar flash of kind of dark grayish light in his eyes. Fascinating. It would seem that well, obviously this happened in a battle. It would seem that in her final moments, Miss Aurora was tapping into some of this island's magic as well. Some of it still lingers on her. It's not often that I don't get a straight answer from my identification. But this is something outside of just the arcane. I'll be honest, it burned a little. I think there might be something divine about something that's going on here.
Well, we'll leave you to it, and then maybe think about how we can unpoison the island. Okay.
But before she walks out, has Nettle seen anything similar to like these silver flowers ever?
No. I mean, you've seen like the blossoms in the sky, but they never get close enough to like see up close. They kind of fizzle out before they get to the ground. So you all go just outside of the cave. And as you do, a couple of moments pass. You can hear some chanting coming from within. And it's like darkness seems to be drawn into the cave. Shadows almost pull from the trees surrounding you and point in that direction. Silas, you feel unnaturally drawn towards the cave entrance. Against your will, you actually look down and realize that you've been dragged a couple of inches over the last couple of minutes, unknowingly. At this point, Genevieve covers her ears and like crouches down and has her eyes tightly shut, and
I'm gonna go over to her and just like try to calm her down, like tell her just to listen to one.
yeah. As you say this, there's such a cacophony of whispers spilling out from the cave, so loud that even all of you can hear just a low susurrus of voices just whispering. Not enough to make out any words, and there seem to be too many overlapping voices to just pick one out. And it just kind of grows a bit before it stops. After a couple of moments, well, after 2 hours.
That's a couple moments.
And then a couple of moments after the whispers die down, Baldwin approaches out from the mouth of the cave, kind of stepping through the illusion that Genevieve has set. It is done. Normally, when something like this takes place, normally the subject is alive to start, and then, as is per the ritual, they die and then are reborn undead. So we had to get a bit creative, but luckily that potion did just the touch. That being said, she's not going to be feeling quite herself for the next day or so. I mean, she is herself. She's just going to be a bit out of sorts.
Right.
Would you like to come say hello?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is Nettles sticking around through all of this?
Oh, no. Honestly, probably as soon as she heard that Aurora was up and safe, she's probably going to pack up a plate of pasta and bread to go. And
Have you ever seen this? Have you ever seen them in the same room?
have you ever seen them? I just think it'd be like really awkward if you like had both of us in the same room.
Yeah.
I mean,
I guess I'll like.
Trust me,
I have felt like I
as
was a replacement.
the 3 NPCs in this scene, yeah.
I'll copy a bit of the map to the best of my ability and give that to her.
Yeah, and
The
I
boat
can.
is somewhere near this little penis.
It's a.
Penis.
We've been calling it the Dog Penis
The
Cove.
Dog Penis Cove. I didn't want it to look that way. I'm just not very.
Maybe we should call it Pippin's Tip.
No. Sail offing.
You know who I.
Tip? No.
The ship is at Pippin's.
No, I like what we.
The ship is at Pippin's Tip.
Wait, Pip's tip.
Pip's
Just
tip.
Pip's tip.
The ship.
Just the tip of the pip.
The tip of the pip.
just
That's
the
where you'll
tip of
find the
tip
ship.
is where the ship is.
Anyway, that's where the ship is. You should know that well and truly.
See, now it's easy to remember. You just say that all through the forest.
I'm gonna take the robes.
Yeah. I'll have Nettle slide over the robes and also sort of mark for them on the map where sort of the town is, and then where the lantern is, so they know in particular.
Yeah, and I need to actually check. Eventually, after this session, I'll go ahead and make a channel in the Discord that is strictly for maps and things.
Just the
Nice.
maps.
Just maps.
Just the map.
But if I'm not mistaken,
I'm a silver staken.
Oh, kitty.
yes, on the map that they have,
That's so
you
fun.
notice that the silvered hearth is already marked. Right at the base of the tree, there's this little torch symbol.
Oh,
okay.
I know that tree shape.
And that is where the silvered hearth is. Specifically, the torch marks the lantern, which I would say at this point, Nettle has probably described to all of you that I know that they said that the lantern is like a temple of sorts, but it is the only building in the silvered hearth that touches the trunk of Chandragora.
Okay.
Um,
Thank you for your help
right. Thank you for getting us here.
and good luck in your travels.
Oh, yeah. Honestly, now that I know that, the little transmogrifications can kind of be reversed, I think I'm gonna see what I have in the way of going back to the cities, maybe scrounging up some allies. I think I'm gonna come back later, get my grandma.
Good.
If you see them,
Do you have like a description of what she looks like now so that we can...
she's
Spare
tentacly. I do know that she did oddly keep her hair color, so she's white. She's got 2 tentacles on the left and then 1 on the right.
All right.
So if you see her name's Rose, you might be able to call out to her. If you get her sequestered away,
Her left or our left?
her left side,
Okay.
there are 2. Yeah, like double tentacles, and then there's 1 on the right. My name is Rose. If you're able to sort of get her sequestered away.
If you're looking for a group, Lou Grieve is good for that.
I was actually going to head to Gillendawn. I heard there were a few swords for hire there.
Well,
Are there?
no, there is. There's just maybe ignore any posters about
Coming back here.
coming to. Yeah, that was us.
God.
Yeah.
But yeah, we might cross paths. If you get out of this alive, you should pop up to Gillendawn. Give me a shout. I'll come get Rose off your hands.
Yes.
She's a little bitey, but
She's just grumpy like this.
Who isn't when they become a tentacle monster?
I think that once you get past like 75, you have the right to be.
Well,
I was about to ask if she
How
was
old are
bitey
you?
before.
Yeah, she was a little feisty. And so.
How old are you?
You're like
Lady never
24.
tells. Actually, I don't know.
Not
Alma said that I didn't age a day, which freaks me out a bit. So, like, I could be like 100.
Okay.
But
Well, I'm
You know?
27. You look about 24. I got about.
He looks
like 2 years.
24.
Well, you should see the men in the silver.
They must look terrible.
24 it is.
No, she's lying to your face.
You hear that, Genevieve?
See,
24.
told you I'd get right under that little hot
Oh
haze.
god.
See, it was a food and a compliment.
Basically,
Look
still
at
a
him,
child
butter.
in elf
That's
years.
still a child.
perhaps if we can get through
Don't
this,
worry, you don't look anything like a child.
if we can get through this fight without those bands breaking apart, then we can maybe use them to bring your grandmother if she is hostile.
That's a good idea. They are a bitch to get out of, I will tell you.
That's fair. Well, I feel like I owe you guys something else.
I mean, with
You
all
have
that you've
any
done for
magic
us,
items, potions, money.
we had nothing to go off of before we met you, and now we know that there's a city, and we know what the lantern is.
And these uniforms. How many did we get? Is everybody covered?
Everyone is
we
covered.
have
6.
Who was the elder?
6 of us. Wait, 7?
I know that. I'm for
There are 7 of you now, yes, with Valdwin.
Maybe that uniform as well? Yeah, I mean, you're not going to be needing it out there.
Oh,
So yeah,
I can. Well, yes, yes, good idea.
probably best to get rid of it now.
Yes.
Trust
Trust me.
an old habit,
I could also become a bat at any time.
Is that?
Even in the daytime.
Can
Yes,
Lamb do that now too?
not quite yet. She's got some work to do before then. Several
Can't
feedings.
wait till she can
Let's
become
take a couple
bat.
more levels than that.
Yes, just a couple of throws, really.
I actually think it changes my race.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a fun section of D&D Beyond.
No, it just kind of adds on to yours.
Oh, really?
It's like additional stuff.
That's like a variant kind of thing.
Yeah. So for those of you that are
Lineage or
curious,
something?
now that we've talked, well, I'll talk about this more before we go to break.
Okay.
But first,
I was asking Nettle before they go what if they knew anything about the elder that was in that note, and she wasn't sure if she would know.
make a history check with disadvantage.
What will the die decide?
Die! Whoa!
Die.
No more die.
There it is. I was like,
Only
Jesus
live.
Christ, where are the ollie dice? Okay. You said a history check, right?
Yes.
Okay. 15.
15. With your position,
Hold on. I'm so sorry. I am the worst human that has ever existed.
Did you have Aurora up?
Yeah. I was like, I don't think it's a +5 to history. I was like, that's too big. That's far too big.
Big.
Too
smart. Bring
12.
12.
It's a 12.
Oh, those are different numbers.
Those are
Those are really different numbers.
With your position, as it was being kind of a caretaker. Being a caretaker of the elderly. You didn't really have, you didn't even have clearance to enter the lantern until your grandmother was chosen. And you delivered her and technically weren't even supposed to stay behind to see what you did see. But that being said, you don't know, other than like the elders that you cared for, it doesn't ring any bells.
That's fine.
No, I'm sorry.
Shot in the dark. Well, good luck. Please tell the captain of the ship to come back for us.
Absolutely.
Don't let him.
And again, his name is Ren,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of money involved. He'll fall for that.
and the Mist Walker's Sancha.
Got it. Mr. Walkers. Okay.
Oh, I'm gonna hand her 2 platinum. Give him this. Even if he doesn't believe the Mistwalker thing, he'll believe this.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
It's very
Maybe give him 1 now, and then and then 1 to come back later.
yeah.
Absolutely.
He's
Okay. Untrustworthy.
very
Got it.
driven by these things. This is also currency. I'm sure you know what that is.
Oh yeah, we have money.
If you want to visit it, the Wiltbloom College is just
It is if you head west. No, sorry. If you head east from Willisden, which I imagine that's where you procured your ship captain. If you head southeast through the jungles of Willisden, outside of Willisden, you'll come across Kalima, and that is where Wiltbloom College is. If you have any interest in, studying up on the arcane arts.
Just be aware of werewolves on your way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't travel at night, whatever.
Mistwalkers, Wiltbloom, werewolves. Got it. I think I can handle this.
And then we'll put the platinum underneath, like their little armor, sort of like at their hips where it's safe, and head off.
All right.
I wish we had like a Miss Walker's salute or something that we did when we meet people.
We go like this.
Oh.
Like, bye.
It's just a little because we're all afraid of emotional intimacy, so it's got to be an M, not a heart.
You just do the half the heart at each other, and that's it.
What was it? Miss Walker's.
Oh God.
That's like
Not either back.
Walkers. I imagine that's silence.
Yeah, we'll come up with something far less cringy.
I hope we don't.
Wu-Tang!
So, as Nettle makes their way out into the wilderness, heading towards the shore, the rest of you head into the cave.
Yes.
All right. Heading in, sitting up, right where you left her body. You see Aurora. No wounds, but there is blood around the mouth, kind of like smeared to the side a little bit. Aurora, you currently have 2 levels of exhaustion. I will tell you what that means. You have disadvantage on ability checks, and your speed is halved until you get a long rest. One of those will go away, or a restoration. Yeah, that's where we're at.
Am I still blinded from that fight?
No,
Okay.
all of that ended whenever those dudes died.
I'm gonna grab some of that 45 pounds of food and bring
Yeah,
it
there
to
is
Aurora.
plenty.
I'm just
this
gonna
is-
rush in and bear hug her.
Hey, hi. Sorry.
Hey, this probably won't say to you, but it's something. I think this was a hen once. It came out of a ring.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I'll take anything right now.
Yeah, he just kind of
Yes, there are
kind of pulled on it before.
there are some things that we should cover. You're not feeling super hungry right now, actually. So, Aurora, I'm going to leave it up to you, Miranda, whether or not Aurora is cognizant of what had happened to her.
No.
No?
This felt like sleep. She went to sleep.
Yeah.
This is 100%. I got it from a nap.
Yeah.
I'm okay.
I wasn't here for it, but I'm told that you fell in battle. Like,
Phil.
Yeah. I mean, I imagine that's why I'm kind of like, all gross and grimy.
yes,
mean, like,
you
we're dead.
You were deceased for a time.
I died.
Yeah.
Just for a little bit.
We were all unconscious and we couldn't help you, and the stake didn't want to capture you. They wanted to kill you, and they did.
But
Wait, they didn't want to capture. They were gonna capture all of you guys, but leave me behind.
they were gonna kill you and capture us.
The apostate thing.
And they did. But Genevieve survived and happened to come across someone named Nettle.
You
that
just
was-
missed a lovely person.
Yes, who was someone who was leaving the Silver Stake and helped get all of our bodies moved to this cave, and we didn't know what else to do other than to call Baldwin.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. To get me back up. That's appropriate.
But I don't know if you,
You're like me now.
yes.
Well, much lesser, but
Well,
Okay, let's not
Hey,
use words like
let's
lesser.
not be mean here.
I'm a professor.
No.
No,
No.
you don't have a college degree yet.
Hey, can you? Does she have?
she does.
Can you kind of
Yeah, they are not retractable.
Just go, give him a
just
little,
maybe not a poke, but
cautiously.
mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep.
Over the next couple of days, you're going to find yourself getting quite hungry, and you'll find that your typical meal choices will not satisfy this hunger.
but we've got it all worked out, okay? So
We're gonna be your snacks.
yes.
I
so
have more blood than both of them. so-
we're snacks.
No, I have the most blood.
Again, I can't iterate enough that you should probably stick to animals because it's going to be hard to control at first.
We can't
But they're
iterate enough
not-
that the animals here are not well.
They're not really a lot of animals here. No.
Well,
So we're just gonna. Here's what we're gonna do.
We'll
we're
find
gonna
animals
offer-
as much as we can,
As
and
much as
if
we can.
and if they're not around, then we will help you, in sort of like shifts, so that you don't go
And if
real
you-
mad and kill one of us.
Yes, and
which shouldn't happen for about 7 days.
if you're, you know, if it looks like one of us is running out of juice, we'll carefully pull your head off of whatever body part you're biting. Gently.
Yeah, we'll just one of us will just hold up an arm, and then you bite that person, and if that arm falls, then that person probably
If
needs
the
a
IV
break.
bag goes down, that's too much blood.
Okay.
That's not a bad plan.
It's really
There
not
are
bad at all.
upsides. Yes, there are pluses.
Oh yes, there are a number of benefits. There's really only one downside for you at this exact moment in time.
This is existence now. We're just trying to sell you on it.
Okay.
There
Yeah, we
are.
can't go backwards
yeah.
at this. We'll work on it if you want.
I have heard rumors of ways of reversing the sanguine curse. It is quite tenacious, and I personally have not pursued it myself. But again, I don't know how it works. Because you were dead when you were gifted the curse,
Sorry.
taking it away could return you to that state, potentially. I don't know for certain. But there are ways around it, potentially. Let's talk about the benefits.
Can I run faster?
No,
Can she fly?
not exactly.
Can she cross running water? I didn't think about that.
Why don't I just
Okay,
explain
you talk. Sorry.
exactly how this
yeah,
works?
of course. Yeah.
Garlic?
There are
Sorry.
stages to your transformation. You are still in the fledgling states of your vampirism. You're essentially one step above a thrall. You do not have to do my bidding specifically, though I am technically your sire. But you don't have to call me that. It's
Ooh, call
It's
me that
weird.
Just once.
Wait, you're my sire?
yes.
Is that like
It
that
was-
like my dad?
In a manner of speaking, it was a mixture of my own blood, my
Vampire
life,
daddy.
my unlife essence, as well as a very substantial healing potion that you'll find missing from your bag, unfortunately.
Okay.
You'll find that your thirst can be harnessed in battle. Specifically, when you're inflicting wounds with your sword or a dagger or any type of blade or weapon of any kind.
So how I fight in its entirety.
Yes.
Okay.
Aside from spells, don't really
Okay.
scratch the same itch. But it's easy to get a little, frenzied, as long as the thing that you're attacking bleeds.
Okay.
and
So many things bleed.
it will really
They do bleed.
it really pumps you up, gets you excited for the throes of battle. And
What do you do when that happens?
what do I do?
Yeah. You ever get frenzied?
Yes,
Get a little bear drunk?
I do a number of things.
What do you do?
He drank a bear once. You weren't here for that. He drank a drunk bear.
I drink bears consistently. I only feed on animals because my only other choices are professors and students, and that would not go well with the local press.
Could be a little spicy.
Yes, so
Alright, don't take my advice.
you could drive yourself to perhaps use your fangs to bite someone in combat, and doing so can actually heal some of the wounds that you've taken.
Oh.
You can also really channel your focus in one of these frenzies to calculate your strikes, make them really count. As well as, honestly, one of the most helpful traits when you're really getting into a frenzy. You'll find that you can evaporate yourself into a mist and travel a certain distance before reforming.
That's perfect. It's the Mistwalkers.
Yes, you're truly
You're so
a mistwalker
misty.
now.
Okay.
And you'll find that your reflexes are a bit faster than most. However, there are some downsides. You are technically undead. So any spells that could detect that will. So if you're trying to hide it from someone who's really looking, they'll know.
Okay.
That also means that things that would typically heal you instead give you a temporary boost.
Okay.
So, like, if we give her a health potion.
It would still be helpful, but not
Then this
permanent.
might.
Yes. Also, if you find yourself falling in battle again, or reaching unconsciousness, any type of healing that you would receive, instead of waking you as it normally would, will instead stabilize you, but you will remain unconscious.
But what if we just, like, pour some blood in her mouth?
That could help.
Okay, great.
But it
No one's
has
ever
to
done that
be-
for me.
But it has to be straight from a vein, correct?
From a living creature.
We
yes.
can't, like, bottle it.
Correct. However, the upside to this is you cannot die from old age, and you do not require food or drink or even air.
And you don't, I mean, you didn't like a porridge.
Yeah.
When
Question?
You didn't like porridge, so
you hate it
everything's
that
fine.
I don't have to.
You can still enjoy the essence of foods. It just won't quench your hunger. It's purely for
Entertainment?
aesthetics. Yes.
Wait, though, does that mean that, like, theoretically you can't get food poisoning either?
Right.
If you think that makes it possible for me to try the porridge, I'm still not gonna eat the
You're
Well, you
still-
could still be poisoned by tainted blood.
But, like, what about tainted porridge?
Probably not.
Tainted blood.
It just
Sweet
kind of goes right
porridge.
through you.
Nothing bad can happen to the porridge.
It's 15 years old.
And
You
a
almost
number
drive
of
a carriage.
more downsides, potentially, depending on how you look at them.
Okay.
You cannot enter a residence that you have not been invited inside of by one of the occupants. This doesn't pertain to taverns and businesses. Only residences. So
Is it so the If someone was squatting in here, would that count?
This cave?
Yes.
No. A man-made manufactured structure.
Okay. I just wanted to know the limitations.
All right, let's say that we're breaking into somebody's house for whatever reason. I don't know. We do it a lot of things. We're breaking into somebody's house.
It would cause Aurora immense psychological pain to enter the residence.
I'm getting there. Let's say that we break in first, the three of us. We break in real quick, and then we open the door and we say, "Oh, Aurora, you're here. Welcome inside." Is that fine? Are there vampire loopholes?
I haven't tried. I couldn't tell
It
you.
was a community center. Would the mayor have to be there?
It's not.
No, because that's not where they live. It's not a residence.
Okay.
It's a place of
They
business.
have-
A
have to
castle.
They have to sleep there.
Like where a king lives.
But
Do
if
we
there's-
have to go get the king?
If there was an emergency and people had to sleep in the community center, that would be their residence.
But then it's an open invitation, though. Is that somebody is saying, "Everybody, come on in here."
I feel like you're really getting hung up on this one.
No, we just need to know the specifics because we break into a lot of things.
We
The
walk
best
into
way
buildings.
to know is to try, is all I can
You
say.
said immense.
We have a lot more things to cover.
Oh, okay.
Oh, this
Yeah.
keeps going. All
I
right.
thought,
Yes.
I thought it was like maybe 2 more points.
No, I thought, yeah, we were.
You'll find it a lot harder to operate when you are in sunlight.
Okay.
I know what you're probably thinking. Throw on a hat, throw on a cloak, cover yourself. You're still technically in the sunlight. You have to be within a building or under some sort of awning, but simple clothing itself, or like an umbrella or something, would not suffice for getting you out of the sunlight. That, and we kind of touched on earlier, you must feed every 7 days, or you will go into a bloodthirsty frenzy and feed on the nearest supply of blood.
Okay. So once a week.
Yes.
We've been managing to do better than that. So I think that's okay.
You're not mad at us.
No. No.
We couldn't.
In a lot of ways, it's better than being dead.
Yes.
Yeah.
In every way, it's better than being dead. What?
Yeah. I mean,
What is the question?
Well,
What are
yes.
the benefits to being dead?
You don't have to deal with anything,
yeah.
except the afterlife. I don't know much about that myself.
The mortal coil.
Never had an interest,
You know.
personally.
You ever looked around, had like a week, 10 day, sorry, where you were just like, no, not anymore.
No.
Really?
No.
Got a couple of those.
Well, I assassinated the people who were keeping me where I didn't want to be, and then I left and I felt much better.
Yeah, life always gets better for sure. Just have to give it
Or
a chance.
Unlife, I guess, as you.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
Existence.
It's cool.
Existence is indifferent to you. It's probably the best way to put it.
Either way, I figured it would be.
Is that a part of?
It would be
Means you don't owe it anything.
better to have another opportunity to take care of the business that you were trying to take care of.
Then we'll work on the other stuff.
Speaking of that business,
Yes.
we should probably start planning our next move, right?
Definitely the uniforms, right?
Nettle
Just
that
to
we
stop.
spoke of told us about a city that's on this island, just inside of the.
For the sake of this, we can say you fill
Yeah.
her,
Okay.
you fill in Aurora on all of the things that
Candle
that'll do.
pans up. Look
Give
back
her a
down.
map
I'm
back.
putting wood on the
and
fire.
Show her where stuff is marked.
Yeah. And as you are going over your plans and filling Aurora in, we're going to go ahead and take our break for the evening.
Whoa.
Quick 20-minute break.
20-minute break.
But before we go, I should let you all know how to enter to win this beautiful set of mystery minis, pre-painted from our wonderful sponsor over at More Fun Comics and Games. To enter for your chance to win this beautiful set of minis, type the word rebirth in the chat.
You must be a follower.
Is that RPG Day?
Free RPG. Yeah, I said it.
Yeah, you must be a follower to be eligible to win, and also you can't live in Quebec because they have laws against you winning things like this.
They
So
don't like you.
Yeah.
It's
but
not our fault.
go ahead and type rebirth in the chat, just like Moobot spelled it out for you there. I think I clicked. Yeah, I did. And when we come back from our 20-minute break, we will announce the winner and tell you how to enter to win the Fantasy Forge dice. So don't go away. We'll see all of you in 20 minutes. Welcome back, everybody. Before we hop back into this session and figure out what's next for the Mistwalkers on Rove and Ghoul with the recently kind of resurrected Aurora.
It's fine. She feels great.
She does. Kind of. She's got 2 levels of exhaustion,
Feels good.
which is rough stuff.
She feels something.
But before we hop back in, we have a giveaway to announce. The winner of the More Fun Mystery Mini Giveaway is Butterfly 425! Congratulations, Butterfly. Well deserved, well earned.
Well, it's gripped.
Are you gonna
Is
fucking
it
rip it,
ripped?
bro? Fuck yeah,
Rip it.
dude.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah, hell
Ripped
yeah.
it.
Our coffee table. It's broken.
It's broken.
Our coffee table.
Our table.
It's broken.
It's from the internet.
The internet.
Oh man, have any
Where
of
we
y'all-
are now.
Have any of y'all watched any Spy Family yet?
No.
Listen, no, I want more to come out before I get hooked, but I already know that I am because I love a woman who can beat my ass.
It's so good.
The wife is hot. She looks hot.
It's very good, and the daughter is adorable, like the cutest child I've ever seen in any anime.
Let her,
I've been watching it while I
Cutest child you've ever seen it. Have you seen Kotaro Lives Alone?
sleep. Oh, it's too sad.
It's sad.
Yeah, it's
I
sad.
I
if you
guess
have, like,
sounds sad. I guess.
Yeah, if you have like bad parents.
If you have
it's-
like abandonment issues,
oh yeah.
I shouldn't have
cool.
watched it.
yeah.
Just
no.
remove that from the list of watches. The
Our spouses can watch them because they know what love is.
oh no. Hey, if you want us to if you want Miranda to open this on stream, let us know towards the end
Yeah.
after the dice giveaway.
I'll touch it.
Speaking of the dice giveaway,
Don't clip that and put it anywhere.
hang on. I wonder if I can make it. Yeah. Okay. To enter
Whoa.
for your chance to win the Fantasy Forge Roses and Gold dice giveaway, type the word dice in the chat. That's all caps dice with an exclamation point.
Dice.
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 I don't know if it's case sensitive, but probably it is.
Yep.
And there is an exclamation point, so be sure to include that as well. Just follow Hellbell666's lead. They got it. They're in. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
And we will announce that winner sometime later in the stream. But for now, it's time to hop right back in where we left off, as Aurora is now caught up on the information that Nettle gave. The floor is yours.
So, we got these cloaks. We were thinking maybe we try to get into the city or the village, disguised as just other people that are coming into the village with a silver stake. And you can use the hat to slightly change your face or whatever so that you're not recognizable.
As I was saying before, like just wearing the uniforms can just throw them off enough, especially if we're entering at night. You know, they'll just see white uniforms coming in. They're not going to be scanning faces.
Okay. What's the plan after that? Are we just laying low? Are we heading towards a specific spot? Are we just there for recon?
She brings up a lot of good points. Are we trying to launch our attack early? And if so, can we be certain that this hag is even here right now?
We can figure out what we can when we get there, but from what it sounds like, it's a prison. Maybe some of these people want to go.
It seems to me like we should go in with the plan of reconnaissance,
Right.
but acknowledge that it's more difficult than it seems. So be prepared for a fight at any time with anybody.
For sure.
Yes.
Lay low, play the part, but
And we
use,
stay together no matter what.
use the rings as well. Yes.
And if we happen to find some opportunities to maybe pick off a few of them before the day of the battle, then why not?
Really said walk up to the Memphis Triangle.
I mean, I'm not bothered either way. But it did seem like Nettle was pretty insistent that a lot of these people are innocent. Just family members and scientists and the like.
But she also said that there was an influx in the last 10 days or so that is probably people that are being brought in to fight us.
More likely than not,
That's an
if
assumption,
they're
but
not wearing armor,
Right.
probably they're just some guy.
Of course.
If they're wearing armor, do what you will.
Yeah.
That's a soldier.
Man.
They mentioned something about elders. Those could be kind of targets we can go for, or at least find the whereabouts of.
not the elderly.
No, elders. I said elders. I didn't.
Punch the elderly.
I also assumed that you meant we were taking the old people hostage. Is that not what you were
No,
suggesting?
they had mentioned that the ones that passed down the orders in the messages.
The scientists.
Elders? The scientists, the elders, yes. Those could be primary targets, right? They seem to be the most indoctrinated and indoctrinating.
More likely than not, whoever
Miracles.
these scientists are the worst of the bad guys.
Right. And if they're giving, what the Fae is telling them, down to, peons, the peons don't know what they're doing. They're just believing and doing.
It's worth considering that this hag isn't the worst that we have to face here.
I noticed on that wall that when they were doing the blinding and the paralyzing and whatnot, they all were sort of grabbing at their amulets that they were wearing. Do you think if we took the amulets away that they wouldn't be able to do that, or
Could
is
be
that
harder.
just a boost? I'm not super.
From what I understand of how magic works, I too have arcane focuses. Well, I'm assuming that they're arcane focuses, but it honestly is more like a conduit, an amplifier, if you will. Not really that, like, if you took it, it would stop it. I could still perform magic without my daggers and stuff. It just
But
probably
what if we
wouldn't be
took
as
your
good.
book?
Please don't ever joke about
Do
that.
it.
That's
No,
actually
I'm
like,
just
really
suggesting. I would
insulting.
never take your book, but
Why
I'm
would-
suggesting what if it's the same type of thing for them? That these amulets are more like their book.
More like their
Do I
that's
remember if the wind would pick up around them when they did any kind of casting?
Make a. It makes more sense to make a retroactive perception check than it does to do history. So make a perception check with disadvantage because you're not
Well,
currently perceiving.
That's about to be as disadvantaged as it possibly can be. 9.
Was that a 1 and a 2?
No, it's a
Was
2
it 2
and
and
a
a 13?
Ah.
You said disadvantage as I rolled it with 2.
Better than a 1. You don't recall. You know that there weren't any like weird magical side effects.
Yeah.
But also from what you recall of the fight, that didn't happen to any of you.
They did cast quite often.
They seem to do it freely.
So
Or at least without fear.
The only casters I know, they seem to get tired. Or they, I'm not sure that maybe the connection with the weave changes or something, but these didn't seem to do that. They were
Maybe
they
they're
were,
not.
they were casting on every chance they could.
Did we tell? Sorry, go ahead. I was changing on to a different thing.
Oh, from what I could tell is there would be like an initial hit, and then there would be an effect afterwards. Because the way I was blinded, I was hit with a weapon first.
Well, the blinding, but didn't you get stuck up on the wall?
I felt a pulling at my neck at some point, and it wasn't physical.
Yeah, it was definitely like they were casting spells
Right.
of some kind.
But I was just wondering if it was affecting them as it
Oh,
was
I see
Aurora.
what you're talking. Okay, yes, yeah, that did happen. Sorry, I couldn't.
Does anyone else?
What do you mean? No.
Yeah,
What
you
do I
got-
look like, a fucking loser?
No, you got paralyzed
Yeah,
for
I
a
got
second.
paralyzed. I couldn't.
Remember when Aurora had like wind building up around her? When she
Like
was casting
pressure.
like on the beach and things, like it seemed to get a little strange. I don't remember that with them, but I also don't recall.
I mean, anything could be possible about anything. It could be that they're casting a different type of magic. It could be that they have some sort of protection from whatever it is that causes magic to be weird around here. I have one of the amulets. What if I put one of the amulets on you? Wait, touch it first. You're a vampire. What if it's religious?
Can I touch it?
Mhm.
Is it silver?
It is silver, but it doesn't burn or anything.
Sick.
Okay, put it on your body and try to cast a spell. What if it's because they have the amulets? It's worth knowing.
Okay.
Did they reset? Did she reset since she died on her wild magic stuff, or did that kind of stick around? Or no, there was a thing that happened as she was dying.
Yeah, so
Imagine it would still be the same.
your wild magic DC currently is sitting at a 5.
Okay. So it went down.
Yes.
Yeah, you roll a 6, it'll be fine.
I don't know, bud. Okay.
I hope we're all rolling a lot differently than we were last
I
time.
don't know. It's been pretty bad so far. I haven't
Alrighty.
broken 15 yet.
Cool. So I'll hold the amulet, and I'll no, that's because of my race. I don't know if that matters. Whatever. Yeah, I'll just cast dancing lights. The cantrip.
Okay. I would say that you're aware. I think you all realized
Yeah.
that it has to be a leveled spell for there to be a reaction.
Oh, sick.
You can
Okay.
cast cantrips freely, but once spell levels get
Hey,
involved.
maybe take it easy.
Okay.
You seem a bit exhausted.
Okay.
Maybe someone else can try the necklace.
I'll just do something that doesn't affect anyone.
Does anybody else know how to cast magic?
I can
Are you
do a
comfortable?
little bit.
I
This
can
one
just
apparently
cast
hands out swords to
darkness
everyone
on
else but
myself.
me.
Me?
No. I'm gonna give it a name at some point.
Oh.
You seem sweet.
How do you say your name backwards?
Don't. I thought about that.
Silas's shadow currently.
Silas and Salis.
Silas's shadow currently has like a
Eliza.
like a very large popped collar going on.
Does the size of the collar correspond to like how cool he feels? Like
No, it feels more like he's riffing on the vampirism.
I'm happy for him.
That's slightly insensitive.
It shrinks back down and it kind of like takes on a wolf-like form.
Okay. Pippin is also here.
I can just try it for something small, like darkness. It won't take much.
Rad. So I have darkness at 2nd level. We'll try that.
Okay, you cast darkness at 2nd level. It appears. Go ahead and roll your d20 for wild magic potentially.
Okay. 14.
14, not bad. Your DC goes up to 7.
Was that meant to be with like the amulet? Were you testing the amulet?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, seems to have worked. Nothing goes wrong.
The wild magic table still had a roll.
Is there like pressure building?
Make a perception check.
Where did you cast the darkness? That seems to be.
Aurora, you can make a perception check with advantage.
13.
13.
15.
15. Not visibly, but Aurora, you can feel a little bit of that. It's like just like a small pressure on your chest. Hardly noticeable.
I don't know if it's like religious guilt holding this, or if it's doing something, but there's like a little bit of pressure here. I don't know if it's really affecting my magic, if we're being honest.
Okay, it's not the amulets then
Okay.
that protect them from, which is good to know. It means we can't just steal their amulets and hope that they'll get swallowed up by a black hole or something.
But does
Did
the
we
amulet do
tell-
anything, or is it just?
I mean, from what I saw when we were fighting, it seemed like whenever you embraced this wild magic, it seemed to only benefit you.
Well, can I do it?
There was a moment where you kind of disappeared for a second and then appeared right behind one of them. Unless that was just you. But it seemed like your hair was flowing pretty wildly and you had this kind of violet glow.
So, alright, show of hands. Who can do a magic spell?
I can ask others to do things for me.
I can
can-
ask.
I can ask.
Okay, one ask, one ask.
Two maybes and a yes.
Yeah.
And
Well,
and two yeses.
Okay, so from here, sounds like use magic indiscriminately. If it'll help, go for it.
okay.
Okay.
I mean, we won't know the worst that could happen until it does. So,
But right now, the worst hasn't happened just because somebody cast a spell, so.
of course.
Well, I don't really do a lot of things that are helpful in battle necessarily.
So days coming around. How do we want to utilize that? Do we want to check for security? Do we want to see what their rounds are throughout the hours?
I mean this with the utmost respect, but Aurora looks pretty tired. We might want to take advantage of our current situation to let her rest up, and then we can do any preparations that we need to before we set out.
Right.
I think it would be smartest if we held off on the disguises until we get to the wall,
Of course.
because it sounded like, based off of what Nettle was saying, they don't send a lot of stake members this side, so we maybe wait till we get up top to put them on.
Yeah, when I was up there,
No, yeah.
there was only one facing out. The rest were facing inward.
Hmm.
I don't know if I'd mentioned that.
So they're more worried about people getting out than getting in.
Precisely. Which is why if we get in there and we see that people want out, we can cause a bit of chaos by getting them out. A little bit of stirring of the security pot. We did it in, I think we did it in Waterdeep.
It's true, there's probably other people's grandmas that have been, altered.
Roses, chrysanthemums, I mean, there could be anyone.
Peony.
A whole bouquet
Cro-
of horrifying monsters.
A bouquet of tentacles.
Okay. So, I take a nap.
Slippery.
We infiltrate in. We check for rounds. And sounds like on our way out, we gather or see if there's anyone who wants to leave and we take them with us.
Depends. It
Cautiously.
depends. We won't know until we get in there, really.
Perhaps there'll be a tavern or an inn of some sort where we can just post up and listen. We might be able to get in on some hushed conversations.
Did they seem tavernesque?
Yeah, I
Is that
was about
something?
to.
I'm not
Did-
sure.
I don't think they were drinking people.
Mm-mm. They're not allowed.
But they might have like an inn where people can sleep. Yeah?
Make a intelligence check.
Oh,
From what I remember, I think there was
You okay?
big herbs.
That's a nat 20.
Nat
so that's
20.
money.
Nat 20. That's your second Nat 20 of the night.
Yeah, for a really good reason.
Well, in this instance, yeah. You get the sense that no, there's probably not an inn here. This is a literally walled in location. Seems like they may not know it themselves, but it is almost a bit of a prisoner situation for everyone inside the wall, potentially.
Yeah, but with like the influx of people coming in the last week, are they just like
That's like people that have relocated here,
Most
that
of
are
us
yeah, so
operate
they're
on
like-
probably building homes for themselves.
Yeah.
It's not like travelers passing through. That's like followers relocating.
Yeah, so they don't, yeah, it makes sense they wouldn't do anything fun.
Not to feed meta, but most cults like try to like have you wipe your life and then give you everything back
Yeah.
under their control.
Then they make you build it for yourself.
This is a segue, but like there's a really good one on Netflix that you should watch.
I think we have.
Sweet.
Yeah, we've seen all of them.
Yes! Oh my goodness.
Yes,
bad stuff,
We just
yeah.
watched all of
Yeah,
it.
that's rough.
Yeah.
The news footage at the
Wild
end,
stuff.
too much. Yeah.
Did we tell Valdwin yet about the
I remember when that happened.
the blossom vision about Chandragora that Rabbit had?
Aurora? Wait, what?
The
we
vision
tell
that Rabbit
Valdwin?
had when she touched
Oh,
the
Valdwin's
blossom?
still here. I don't know. Did you? That's up to you guys.
I would like to ask him about it, but if we were like,
I will word vomit my visions upon him.
Yeah. I thought we caught people up, but I guess it was just Aurora and what she missed.
yeah, I feel like talking about the whole like there's a door and they don't know what's coming kind of thing would be
Yeah.
something we could talk about.
Yeah.
That one.
Let's
Yes,
talk
that
to the
is-
professor of dark arts or whatever.
I'm no interpreter of dreams. I don't personally specialize in. Shit, I can't think.
Vision?
Cameron can't think of the word.
Divination.
Divinations, yes. Not my strongest suit, but I have dabbled, and I like to read up on most things that we are teaching at the college, just so that if any students come in with questions about different things, I have at least somewhat of an answer.
I'm not trying to tell you that you have to be interested in my dreams, just that, like, it was bestowed upon me by a plant.
Well, this doesn't sound like it was a dream. It sounds like
Exactly,
it was a
it's
vision. You were waking when
It's
it
not my
happened.
fault, is what I'm saying.
No one was around for this. Just wanna...
Tell me, when you looked
You
up
can lick the plants as well.
when you looked up at this visage of the nervous system of veins, did it resemble, when you came back to your senses, in any way the shape of the tree?
Didn't it look like a body? Like a human body?
No, it was in the shape of the tree.
Oh, it was in the
Yeah,
shape
it
of
looked
the
like a nervous system of a body, but in the shape of
Alright,
this giant tree.
Professor. Sir. You know how we have all these little veiny buds that they contain all of our feelings, but not like our emotional feelings, like our physical feelings, the things that we feel?
Yes, the nervous system. I'm very acquainted with it. I have dissected many a creature.
It was like that, but if a giant magical tree had one.
Right, but you wouldn't think it would.
It's like a dean talking to the opposite of school.
If there's one thing that I know, it's that plants typically.
They
Tip-
don't have blood or systems.
Well, they do, but it's not like you described. They don't tend to have veins except upon their leaves. The trunks are quite different. There are cases where there is sap or molasses, depending on the type of tree.
None of
different
that's
things
blood.
that come out. It's kind of like a tree's blood, though, when you think about it.
But it's
Right. But the way that you're describing it sounds very different.
as though it were made of human. You know what
Right.
I mean?
I think I'm getting it, yes.
Did you write on your character sheet impossibly bad at metaphors for your character?
I'm
I
going
wrote-
to...
Because I hope so, because
I
that sounds
wrote
great.
mid to low intelligence, high wisdom is the thing.
This is a pretty important...
Also, I, Sam, am really stupid in like the grand scheme of life. So when people are like, "Okay,
not
describe a
true.
nervous system," I'm like, "Fuck, man, what
Not a
is that doing in here? Trees don't have those, right?"
Ignore this. This is for something else.
Ignore me.
This is a pretty important role for all of you,
Oh no.
Okay.
information-wise. So I'm going to roll this in the open.
Man,
Valdwin-
I'm glad we brought him here early.
Valdwin is going to make a religion check, which is not his strong suit.
Same.
And it's a pretty high DC. He needs to roll a 16 or higher
Yikes.
to get the piece of information that I am thinking of.
It's okay, he'll get a 17.
You did get a 7.
Team. That's rad.
Zach.
Does he want a luck point?
You can use your luck.
I can use my luck points for others.
I think so. You can force someone else to re-roll something.
Well, I can spend a point when an attack roll is made against me.
I would say in this specific scenario, I would allow that if you wanted to sacrifice one of your luck.
But you do have to describe to us how you provide luck.
I just keep talking. I just keep going, okay, so it's like, you know how we've got all those little branches of brain cells. They go through your entire body.
I'm
all
gonna
the
stick
way.
with
Yeah.
the original way that we were describing it, which is that one of the rabbit's feet on your spear just dissolves.
Oh, I thought it was a butt slap.
What did I say? 16 or higher?
It's a balls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cocked.
That's
Nice.
Absolutely cocked.
Hell yeah.
God damn it, Cameron.
You know how many rabbits have died?
Hundreds. I'm constantly burning luck points.
I'm not personally familiar with the name Chandragora. I've also never heard of the life tree of Rovengul being referred to this way.
Could you spell Chandragora for me?
Oh, so now you care. I spelled it last time and everybody was like, I spell it how I want.
No, that was just me.
Wrote it down.
No, that was
I
just
wrote it down too.
It's Shandrygora. Chandragora.
But to be fair, it's because I can't read. And what if I can't read it the way that it's spelled?
That's fair.
Because I have no intelligence.
All right.
So you don't know of Chandragora, like the name at least.
Correct.
Do you know of the Age of Absence, by chance?
Yes, history is more my strong suit. I don't know anything that took place during the Age of Absence, as no one does.
Right.
It's a bit of one of history's greatest mysteries.
That's. We saw the wall, and I placed it at
The Town of the Serpent?
You might not believe me, but I think I placed it around 892 was when it was built.
Oh, it's currently 892.
It is 892.
Yes.
And this was built
This
in
was-
the Age of Absence then.
You got the sense that this was built before the Age of Absence.
Oh,
This is
I
from
wrote that in
this is
first.
from this is from pre-Severance.
Yeah, I got the I don't know, I got the feeling that it was built before the Severance.
Huh.
It was like well crafted. I couldn't place it as dwarven, that's kind of my specialty, but it was I don't know. I honestly don't know how I know that.
So if it's a sentient tree that was walled off before the severance, assuming for some sort of protection, and it's claiming that whatever is diseasing it in this island is going to open some sort of a door or a gate or whatnot. Any
That,
clues to what that might mean?
They know not what they do.
that does sound quite troubling.
Right?
There are arcane means by which one could open a portal or a gate to another place, another realm, another plane. But it's not easy. And if we're still correct in thinking that what we're fighting is a hag, then their way of approaching this type of magic would be outside of the norm. It wouldn't be what I would do.
What if you had the resources of scientists for your miracles and the resources of willing participants? Would it be possible then?
Absolutely, it would be possible.
Out of curiosity, we've got a couple of days, right? So we're supposed to do stuff. Is anybody interested in this? I'm just putting this out there so we can maybe gather some information from somebody who might know what's going on. Maybe we could just kidnap a scientist.
Technically, it is better than what we usually do, which is just kill them.
But the scientists would have to know what they're doing in order to accomplish it. Correct?
What if they're so inundated in the faith that they,
No, that's fine.
swallow the capsule?
They could. I mean, well, then we will put our little fingers down their throats and pull the capsule back out. I don't know. Anyway, what I'm getting at though is like, even if they're inundated with the faith and they believe in everything that's going on and they're just as brainwashed as any other person, they would still know the procedure which they're accomplishing, right? They would have some manner of answers, even if it's cryptic and weird and hidden under several layers of...
At least pieces.
I think the trouble is making sure that we're getting a scientist that is not... We have to get someone that's high enough up that will actually know what's going on, because there are going to be scientists that are just doing experiments on people and changing them into other things, and they might not know why. I mean, those notes that we got, that we found, all about, some type of inhalant and destroying evidence, but...
I'm for this plan, but our interrogation will have to be very specific and almost fooling them into giving us information. It's not muscling it out of them, or we'd have to... There have to be different ways of approaching the interrogation itself, is what I'm trying to say. But I'm for this.
In theory, if maybe some of us wore our new fancy cloaks, right? And some of us pretended to be offerings to get into the science labs.
They're going to have security in those science labs, right? Because these are lashing out tentacle beings. We'll have to. I'm just saying, we'll just have to prepare ourselves for that. I'm not trying to.
Right. No, we just need to get.
Also,
We just need to get in enough to hear the trigger words that we're looking for. Who's who in the organization, right?
The issue with that might be, based on what Nettle was saying, it sounds like the way that they are able to perpetrate these experiments on their own people without the people rising up in revolt is, it seems like the ones that are being experimented on are specific. She referred to many times as we were conversing while you were unconscious, and when she was telling us about what they know, it was that the grandmother was chosen. So using the fake prisoner infiltration method may not be...
Right.
It may not work.
Do we think that Chosen is one of these Fey visions, right? Or do we think Chosen is the scientists?
Right, because in theory, we could bring any... If it's just the scientists telling everybody, yeah, go pick out a guy, we could bring anybody and be like, the one that you chose, remember? You loved this one.
No, but
Yes,
the
there's
note
also-
was specific too, right? Didn't the note that we found at the tannery...
Subject 17.
They have numbers,
There's also the issue that
designations.
if the hag is present, and
She'd recognize us immediately.
Well, then
Exactly.
shit pops off, doesn't it?
and she might be disguised, we might not recognize her, but she might recognize us. You said she's appeared as animals before. Who's to say she couldn't appear as other?
Well, if it was an animal,
Human-
it'd be one of the
humanoids.
4 left on this island.
Well, if we are
Continent.
going in to get sort of the layout of the battlefield, and the battlefield is the lantern, which is also the temple in which these miracles take place, if we could find any way to get in and quietly observe one of these miracles
Yeah, let's get in, and then
without kidnapping anyone, without talking to anyone, just watching what's happening.
Peaceful observation.
get out and do one of these again. Right? You
All
can use
right.
the rings to help with the exit.
Scouting mission.
Yes.
Yes.
We could, something like that, we could do tomorrow, most likely, without
Well,
drawing too much.
Depending on how
The
Aurora
evening, yeah.
feels.
There are quite a lot of us. Do we all want to go in together?
I think it would be okay if perhaps some of us stuck around behind, and then if anything tragic happened to some of us, at least there would be
Oh, like a cavalry, right? We could have, if something goes awry, then we can leave a ring with. Pippin and.
Yes. Baldwin has a ring as well.
Yeah. So. It could be kind of a code word.
We have backup.
Right.
And then they can swoop in. If things come.
Whoever
if they have us cornered, you guys can come in from.
Yes, whoever the secondary team is would. There's potential that we may not be able to arrive immediately, but it's better than nothing.
We could travel together to a point, and then you'd at least be halfway.
Yes,
something of
because
that
we'll
nature.
go to that.
I do have a way to conceal myself and at least one other.
That's good. I could take care of this group.
If you can conceal yourself and Genevieve, Pips is fairly sneaky already.
Yeah, I don't think they would find me.
Is that anybody else?
I'm very good at blending in.
We've got
Maybe Genevieve, you could talk to Valdwin about, the listening.
Yeah, that
Maybe you could help.
would be good.
So we'll go to the rundown part of the wall and get ourselves in, and then as we close in on the city, I suppose we may try to stop somewhere, take a look at where our point of entrance will be, depending on how many are out. It won't be dark at night because of the tree.
Yeah, and based on the
it is still night, correct? It's not.
it's the dim light.
But it's nighttime, so vampire stuff is all
Oh, correct.
great.
Yeah,
more
it's
of a
specifically
curse.
sunlight, so the tree
Great.
not affecting that.
Fantastic.
It's a little sun.
There's also potential, there's been an influx of followers to the island, they said. Maybe we're a batch of newly devout followers, and we could, at the very least, easily try to infiltrate the city, set ourselves up as, obviously we need to
Yeah.
keep this
I know
one's
this
face
one is
changed,
the
but
apostate on site, apparently.
you've got a hat that can change that, right?
Just real quick, pop quiz to partly for me as well. All right, who are we? We are new members of the Silver Stake. Great. What do we worship?
The
The light, right? It's like the all shining.
I think it's they kept saying something about the light of the one that we were pummeling all together. Said the light of the silver flame protects me.
Silver flame. That's the one.
Right.
The light of the silver flame.
I should write that down.
So maybe
Say with some feeling, though, right?
yeah, maybe anytime anyone, if you're not quite sure how to respond, just say the light of the silver flame protects me, and that might be good enough.
All right. What do you like so much about the Silver Flame? What's your favorite thing?
It protects me.
It shows me
The way,
the prod. Yeah, the
just
way,
the way. It shows us.
prodigy.
It shows us the way.
It shows us the way.
We follow the light.
It's far more simple than this.
They say anything
The-
about like moth imagery?
The light got you. It's like a father in
It's
a
my
sense.
dad.
Yeah. It's like a stern hand from like a celestial being, if you will.
Okay, so this
So,
is
like-
not necessarily an all-loving, all-kind God. Sometimes it gives you a little...
Yeah. I wouldn't say it like that though.
Okay,
Um,
I will not.
No, I don't think if we walked into the city where this is the kind of the epicenter of a cult, we would say it gives us a little spanking. Okay?
Listen, if we get caught, just let me lead the talking. I know it may sound weird, but I feel like I may be the best equipped to handle the zealot.
No, that's fair. You live there.
No, yeah, I'll just be a
I
silent.
was, we were mostly
devout
making
follower.
guesses.
They weren't bad. They weren't bad guesses.
Yeah.
They were actually like pretty close.
I think I could probably make it look like my tongue was removed.
I could just remove your tongue.
You know how long it would take to heal?
Yeah,
To do that?
You're ridiculous, man.
That wouldn't make me effective in battle at all.
Yeah,
Think
plus-
before you say.
How does
Trust me.
talking make you effective in battle, Silas? Please tell me.
As somebody who lost a pinky as a child and now has a pinky, regeneration spells are not cheap.
Right. So I can
You're
just make
richer than God.
Oh, speaking
Here?
of money, how are we to get any of those mercenaries that may or may not be coming in to the lantern? I mean, the lantern's at the base of the tree. I think we.
Well, hopefully, if they're good
the
enough,
tree,
they're
but-
also going to be disguised. There's going to be just. We'll just be serendipity. It's right next to someone that we think is devout, but it's actually like one of our mercenaries.
Best case scenario, we don't know who's an enemy and who's a friend.
You know, I'm gonna be honest with you. I kind of
Everybody
forgot
just throws their robes off together. Like,
that anybody
oh.
might be showing up.
I mean, the friends.
Have y'all checked in with your friend that you sent with an exorbitant amount of money on the road to Geladorn?
I have no
I
idea how to
don't
do
think
that.
we have a way.
Yeah.
I mean, I could send a bird.
Yeah, but.
Oh, it'll take a few days.
Yeah, we'll see
But then
that
we'll have a
after.
bird flying through the air of this. You know, it's likely to get intercepted.
And people.
Right, and the fact that it probably we wouldn't get a return bird until days after.
Or during the battle with our luck.
Right.
They
I
really
think
should
not
make
only
these
that,
things
but I
faster.
think people would watch the bird come in.
I think maybe the safest bet is to assume that no one's coming to help.
Yeah.
And if they do, they'll
Yeah.
Added benefit.
surprise us.
Yeah, we plan for it. We should have said, like, I don't know, maybe have a signal. Maybe in those posters. Maybe not.
We really didn't, we didn't think it was going to be this intense at the time.
We kind of just thought it was going to be a fight.
We thought it was going to be pretty straightforward.
Yeah, we did.
It was like a few days ago, but it feels like 4 years ago.
It feels like forever.
That is, deals with Fae. They make it sound so nice and compelling and easy, and then, there's caveat after caveat. I wouldn't be surprised if this being would do everything in their power to make us miss our intended date.
Oh,
So,
cool. Yeah.
the
Or just not
downside,
show up at all.
the potential downside, oh no, they will hold to their word. If they made you a promise, they will hold that promise, but they will do everything in their power to make sure that you cannot hold your end of the bargain. So if the bargain was to meet at a certain place on a certain day to fight, they're going to do everything in their power to make sure that you are not at that place on that day. So the fact that we've made it this far is fantastic. The downside to a potential scouting mission is we get captured and thrown in a cell outside of the lantern, miss our date, and then, as I understand it, you're all free reign again for a night hag to step into your dreams and torture you until you're dead.
So, wait, just a quick.
There's no way anyone is imprisoning me. There's only one prison that can keep me, and I thought about it for a long time, one night.
Azkaban. Do you think
You
that
say
there's-
things like triangle button and ass cabin? Ass
do you
cabin?
think that
Would I be imprisoned in an ass cabin?
you heard what I said?
Yeah, ass cabin is what I heard.
You gotta eat your way out. It's the worst part.
It's all fish.
You gotta eat your way out. We're just
Yeah,
casually.
yeah.
Hey, that was a callback. Don't worry about it.
You gotta eat your way in, too. That's the weirdest part.
You two are fired from the show. We've been meaning to talk to you about this. We want this to be a ladies only
Guys,
event.
actually, go ahead and clock out for me.
Yeah, they would probably do a lot better.
No. I think it would be more dangerous.
You guys want to start a cult?
What do you think? What do you think the ritual is that they wanted to capture us and have us be part of?
A miracle, right? They kept saying we were of prophecy as well. I don't know if you remember that.
Right, and what is...
Both times they said these are the warriors of prophecy.
I don't like... Did someone say that?
I presume
think
that it
so.
was mostly, the way that the hag got them to come and chase after us was, oop, there's some warriors coming from a prophecy.
That was
Better
my
go ahead.
interpretation.
I'm actually a little bit worried because from what you guys told me of what Nettle was doing, they were just creating food and they called it performing a miracle.
No, there are other miracles. The
So-
Roscoe was a miracle.
No, that's not a miracle. That's
Well, the way
Well,
that they
in a way, it was kind of a miracle of science, which, you know, when you think about it, that's kind of the Silver Stakes whole bag.
Yes, when Netta was talking about their grandmother and what happened, they fashioned that like it was a miracle. The experiment, I believe, if I heard
as if
correctly.
she was chosen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Are we not good enough
What if
to be chosen?
no, we're great. We're worth
I
it.
think that in the mindset of the church, that if they are this great good, there also is to be a great good or a great evil that they fight against. What other way to bring a mass amount of people to your cause than to say that you have just defeated these massive assholes, you know?
Oh, is that us?
I think we're the
Is that our
assholes.
part?
Could be.
It seemed, well,
Any successful organization needs a singular point of aggravation.
you know, when you really think about it, the pamphlets and such that are spread about the Silver Stake and other cities around Mistinor, the jargon is always that, you know, they're targeting foreign creatures, like those who are cursed with lycanthropy, those who are afflicted with the sanguine curse, and we've got 3 of those likes among our ranks, so...
But that's new, though.
Maybe they knew.
Well, I mean...
That's like a recent development, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Right, that's true, but all I'm saying is that currently, whether they know it or not, we fit the bill for being their enemies.
Alright, but what about the 3 of us who aren't those things?
This one's shadow does not do what he does. This one...
Notice to give me a fucking soul.
This one, as I know it, is able to cast magic, which they view as heresy in their eyes, as can I. This one's a lycanthrope, he motions at Pippin. Something about voices and listening. I'm not fully aware of what's going on here.
Like daughter, like mother.
I believe you told us your mother's a dragon. I think we're a bunch of
But they
weirdos
don't
that they would like to eradicate.
They don't know that my mom's a dragon, alright? Well, I mean, they killed her, so they do know, but they can't prove it to anybody else. I told them that my mother is a dragon, and they all went,
You
They
didn't
couldn't-
tell us that they killed your mother.
yes, I did.
Did you?
I started there.
Do you think that
Did
Yeah.
your egg
I was not here for that.
will be here?
I'm sincerely hoping that my egg will be here.
Where would they keep an egg?
What if they made the egg a miracle?
What if the miracle was to hatch the egg?
What if the egg is a component?
No. No, they aren't going to do anything bad to the egg, because if they just hatch it, normally they have a dragon, so why would they do something?
Because
Why would they do some weird science?
Roscoe has a
A holy
different
dragon?
life.
on their
weird
side?
science.
There it is. Our third sponsor for the evening.
I'm gonna go ahead and make one more roll for Valwyn.
Come on, Valdwin.
This one is more up his alley. This is an investigation. Not investigation. This is a No. It would be investigation.
Is that camera working at all, Rob?
Boom.
I just meant as far as like I haven't we haven't like calibrated it today.
It's probably fine.
That's fine.
This is gonna be a pretty high DC.
Okay. How high is
I want to put the DC at a 20.
But it's in his alley though.
It is. Valwyn is very intelligent.
Okay.
And he gets a +7 to this roll.
Alright, so 13 high.
Yeah, 13 or higher. Right?
Yeah. +7?
Yeah.
Yeah. I can do math sometimes.
That's a natural fucking 20.
Oh
shit.
my goodness.
An ally helped. You saw it here. What is the date and what is the time?
Hey, technically
It's
he brought me a
10/21 on
Yeah. You
June
have to roll for it
25th.
though.
Wait a minute.
Is this character or is this Cameron? Sorry.
This is Valdwin.
Okay.
This is not how I talk as a person.
Oh.
Wait a minute. When you were describing to me this mass of silvery veins, the center there was a void.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember the shape of the void?
What was the shape of the void?
It's roughly egg-shaped.
Oh no. Does that mean that they stuck the egg in a tree?
Is it flowering your brother?
Valdwin pulls a little journal out from his satchel, as well as a quill, and begins just kind of like furiously writing things,
I'm going to stare over
pausing to
his
think.
shoulder.
You're seeing a lot of symbols and a lot of runes happening. Beautiful, like immaculate circles being drawn,
That's bad.
made out of runes. He just kind of like is putting all these things together. What if the tree itself isn't being poisoned? What if it's being siphoned?
Oh. To do what?
To nurture an egg?
Maybe to hatch an egg?
But no, because it's not supposed to hatch for like a couple hundred years.
What's the legend
Exactly.
of this?
Quicken that.
What's the legend of this place? 2 dragons that fought?
The legend. Oh, the history of Misternor. Yes, the two great ones of Ruby and Obsidian who clashed in the skies over the city. The Ruby protecting Misternor, and the Obsidian an invader from Grimdall. They fought overhead and destroyed each other, and their bodies fell and nurtured the sands and altered the landscape.
Okay.
But the Silver State try to kill dragons on sight. Why would they be trying to hatch one? Or is that them not knowing what they do? or
Because-
something?
Maybe they weren't trying to kill dragons. Maybe they were trying to capture one.
Right.
Or maybe they needed an unborn dragon. Like a living dragon can rebel against it, right? But one... It'd be easier to perform a miracle on an unborn dragon than it would be a born one.
But it's not like some big, great, amazing dragon. It's not like a big red guy. It's just a fairy dragon. It's just a little guy in the
Oh,
grand scheme of things.
A
not
fairy
be-
dragon? Like a fairy dragon?
Yeah, but they're not like that strong. It's not like that big of a deal.
Fairy?
Fairy-
Fae?
Fairy dragons, I mean, what she speaks is true. The fairy dragons are quite small in stature. Typically, I haven't heard any tell of any dragons of such growing to ancient age as dragons are wont to do. But
if it's being
I'd imagine-
grown from inside of a tree of life, is that so? The siphoning, is that what is causing everything else on the island to die?
perhaps, maybe they didn't fully understand what power they've tapped into, or
A fairy dragon is nothing, but Roscoe also couldn't reach 30 feet before his miracle.
Okay, what if we start off with skipping the lantern for the first day, and we try to get into the tree and get the egg?
We are talking about escalating force against them.
No,
well, what Nettle said. The lantern's the only building
it's attached to
that
the tree,
connects to
so
the tree.
The egg might be in there.
That might be our only way in.
Oh, okay. Well, 2 birds with 1 stone, I suppose.
But if the egg is in there, we have to get it.
Of
Are you
course.
gonna go rescue your brother?
Who is an egg? Yes. Well, it might be a sister. I don't know the gender of the egg. But the egg we definitely need to get. And hopefully Asher is somewhere nearby. That is a brother for certain. He is an elf, not an egg.
And your brother just was missing, correct?
Correct.
And he did not join the Silver State, correct?
I don't know.
And was not born of an egg.
He was not born of an egg. He was born of, I presume, a lady.
Mm-hmm.
So a lady just became Asher one day.
I don't think that's how it works. You have a child. I think
know.
you understand
Yeah.
the general concept. Even for elves.
So,
Gross.
Genevieve nudges you.
Yep.
so was your dragon mother in her non-dragon form? Is that what you're saying?
No, she didn't make us. There are elves. It's really not important right now. Okay, I'll give a quick rundown one more time. There is a clan of elves in some woods.
They're red. I remember that.
The Red Woods, yes. There's a bunch of elves. there.
Narmloth, that's where the compound is.
Right, somewhere nearby there.
The Red Pines.
Bunch of elves. Sometimes those elves have children, not all the time. Sometimes they do, a couple a year, probably. Some kids. They have those kids.
Two children a year, that's a lot.
A
For
couple,
elves?
a couple a year.
For the timeless
Within the
ones?
entire.
Oh, you mean within
For all of them?
Gotcha,
Okay.
the entire community, 2 children every year. Okay.
Just
Children every
litters on the regular basis.
800-year-old beings eventually. Like,
No, there's like,
overrun the place.
Spreading like a wildfire.
there's like up
That's
to,
why you're called Rabbit, isn't it?
up to a couple of children born every
I
year.
think this is why we do not understand.
This is why you don't know what's happening.
It's because we rent for like.
Yeah. We can't vamp. Only Aurora can
Sorry,
vamp now.
sorry. Rabbit, we won't interrupt you again. Please,
Yes,
just
yes.
explain.
I believe that you will, but it's fine. All right, a handful of children born every year. Sometimes some of those go to the fairy dragon of the forest, who protects the forest. The fairy dragon of the forest, trains up those children to take care of the forest and the surrounding clans. Yes.
So it's like some kind of deal between the elves and the dragon where they bring it there young and the dragon raises it.
Correct.
I said fairy earlier, as in fae. Fairy. Deal.
Theoretically, yes.
Okay, sorry.
All right. So Randris was the fairy dragon. She's been there for a while. Her mother had been the fairy dragon before that, right? Everything was fine and normal and dandy. It's passed down to the...
So this egg is supposed to be the next fairy dragon.
Because Randris was killed.
Right. And they put
Correct,
it in a
Amanda.
tree. And
But it's in a tree now,
right.
and that's
So
not going to work
probably
out.
a bit different.
So in a way, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I have.
I'm
Yes,
sorry.
has
after
his
you,
hand
after
up.
you,
Hans
after
had a
you.
question.
Where are the rest of your kin that are meant to protect the forest?
They were killed by the Silver Stick.
Right, except for Asher?
Yes, who I could not find his body, so I presume he is missing. He could be Ash.
That's funny.
But I did not find any evidence of a dead person who appeared to be Asher. So I presume that either right now my current list of where could Asher be is in the compound where Pips grew up and became an assassin. That would be pretty cool, but we would have a dangerous situation on our hands because Asher was no fucking joke before he was trained to be an assassin. So,
I believe.
When did we
Pippin
make
had
that
the-
leap in logic?
do what?
When did we make that jump? You think I might know Asha?
I think that it's possible that he could be there, but I can't guarantee it. Only because they were pretty nearby locations, according to you. So it wouldn't be a huge leap for the Silver Stake to just drop him off on their way. He was already a pretty efficient fighter. It's just something I've been marinating on in my brain.
Right.
There's only one prison that can hold Silas Wilford Brown.
Or he could be here. Which would be unfortunate. What prison is that?
Made of light.
Alright.
I was gonna say the prison of his mind.
Oh.
No.
No,
Escaped
he's
that one a
he's
long
in
time
there.
ago.
Currently in there. Alright, so
I'm gonna put.
That's kind of what started this whole mess, isn't it?
as much as I'd like to find Asher, more importantly, I've got to get that egg because I don't know what they're planning on doing to the egg, but I do know that it's kind of important that it goes to the place it's supposed to go.
Which is not in the tree.
Not in a tree. I prefer it to hatch normally, as eggs are supposed to do. Preferably some sort of heating vessel
And the tree
or
would
a nice
probably
hug.
be much happier without the egg inside of it.
And apparently it's killing all of the animals in this place, which can't be good for the ecology.
They know not
And
what they do.
Aurora's gonna get hungry. We need animals.
Let's.
So that just leaves the doorway.
Yes.
How
What
big
if-
is the egg?
Are you hugging it, or is it just between your hands?
I'm trying to just, I don't know, like, meh?
Okay,
That feels right.
Yeah.
It's like larger than many eggs, but you know,
That's carryable. That's good.
it could fit in a large
Could you
backpack.
imagine frying
Do
an
not.
egg? That I
No,
won't.
you can't.
Because it is incubated and it has a dragon in
I'll
it.
get you-
and a tree.
I'll get you other large
But-
eggs.
We shouldn't eat the egg.
You should hold
No,
it to
I
that.
won't eat that one.
You should have her get large eggs for you.
I hear Farokhima's spawn come from large, soft eggs.
But aren't they like goo?
Kind of.
It's wet.
It's like a jelly.
No.
Is
Absolutely
it
not.
fishy?
I don't like
I
the yolks.
presume it'd be fish.
Sharks lay eggs inside the body.
Sharks? What's the point of laying the egg?
So that you can. They're breaking life sometimes.
So, but why? So you go, egg laid, but it's still in me.
Yeah. And then
And then you.
that way you can keep it with you while you swim.
And the first ones that get out can eat the others.
Because sharks can't stop moving.
The library
Because-
was a very long time.
I feel we're getting
You
a little
guys really
distracted here.
Read a lot of books. Right, there's an egg
Yes.
in a tree, there's an egg in a tree. We're gonna focus, and that's bad because of lots of things.
Yes.
Right.
It's bad for
so,
me, bad for the island.
So we
I
sneak
feel-
into the city.
I feel that currently our biggest leap of logic in understanding what's going on is that they are trying to hatch the egg. What if they are not trying to hatch it? What if they are trying to fatten it up and then use it to open a door, like a material component for a spell?
Oh.
What do we know of fairy dragons?
Well,
Their capabilities outside of being small or whatever.
They're
Any
intelligent. They
dragon-
can speak and understand language.
Like innate things. Dragons have specifics, right? I've been reading about it in like dwarven things. There's like metal
innately,
ones.
It can probably
poison.
do
They are
all
fey
of the
dragons.
things that a human baby could do, approximately.
So being
Yes.
fey dragons, does that mean that
Much
they
more
can,
dangerous.
they can go in between different planes or realms?
I'm not sure. I'm not an expert.
I can't
But it seems
specifically
like
do that.
for a fairy dragon to exist on this plane, at some point in its lineage, one of them had to.
Well, I know that the hag is able to go into the ethereal plane and whatnot.
Yes.
Rangers could perform many magics, but a good amount of them were learned spells.
I mean, I feel like I've been thinking on it for long enough. Like, is the hag trying to bring about opening a door to the Fae? To that dimension? And is the dragon the key to that? Mixing science with
Perhaps, but it feels
natural magics?
it feels strange for a creature that can step through planes so effortlessly to need to open a gateway for herself to return.
Well, other things, not just themselves.
Unless she's
Like,
trying to bring something here.
There
That's
was,
possible.
I mean,
But they're
it's entirely possible that it is embroiled in a deal that it's trying to satisfy.
It sounds also as if this original fairy dragon, Randrus as you referred to them, had a deal with these elvish people.
well, to
But
my
that-
memory, it's more like her mother and her mother's mother.
Right, a generational deal.
Yes.
But a deal nonetheless that was then severed by the Silver Stake. Run by a hag which knows better than most the repercussions of negging on a deal. It's a strange sort of feels very coincidental, doesn't it?
No. I feel like I said this a long time. There are no coincidences with the Fae and the Hag. They are intentional. They are
Chaotic.
Well, hey, rude. But there is logic to all of it, just not like yours so much.
Well, it has to exist. There has to be logic to it because it exists on our plane currently. But if it were their own plane, there wouldn't have to be. See, I think the deals are made because there are strict ties between the beings that they make deals with and the societies that they exist in, as we all do. we all kind of go unspoken into deals. We follow laws we might not have heard. But if you were to relinquish that, to change a plane, who's to say that you would have to live by these deals anymore?
It wouldn't be the gods, would it?
I don't speak of them or to them.
Wait, what wouldn't be?
That are on the other side of this door. Because the tree, the wall that was placed there before the severance, and the fact that there's a door, I don't know if they have anything to do with anything.
I mean, maybe the wall was initially built to protect the tree, and now it's being used for the opposite.
Yes, but no one knows where they went.
It's also a wall you can't see until you approach it.
They know not what they do.
Does that refer to the hag or the silver stake following her?
I believe
I mean, the
that's
stake for sure.
Yeah.
They don't know.
the blind masses. Right?
Perhaps both?
But somebody within... It doesn't make sense to me that this hag just has a chokehold on everybody, right? Somebody with some authority, with a physical form that they can show to people, in theory knows what's actually going on. Or at least what the hag claims to be wanting to do.
Yes, but this hag is also known to be a shapeshifter, so it could in fact be her in another form.
I mean, the hag has something over a demon, potentially.
It could be her in another form, and also these are religious fanatics, so her appearing as a celestial being to them in their dreams and giving them prophecies is par for the course.
For some people, that's enough, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So the question is, what is the goal of the silver stake? It doesn't seem as though...
The weapon of prophecy?
A new era of science and knowledge, or something.
And to do that, they want to open some sort of door.
At the place where magic and
Science.
Well, as the... At the heart of creating a new era, in order to create a new era, there must be someone to name said era and rule it.
and end the old one.
Exactly. So perhaps it's a takeover. Some sort of conquest.
But who exactly are they planning on taking down?
Everyone, I suppose.
Well, there is no uniting leadership over Mistinor currently. There's a series of holds that govern themselves and hold tentative treaties with one another.
If the door is to another realm, then it could be.
Armies?
We could,
gods?
we could speculate all night, but we can also see for ourselves. I think we have some healthy bullet points.
If at the very
I don't know what
least-
that word means.
I think today we rest. Genevieve kind of like looks concerned at Aurora. We should all be at the top of our form before we try taking out any
Right.
missions.
Yeah, so then tomorrow night we'll head to that part of the wall and scope out the village and see how difficult it will be for us to just come out of an alleyway. And then we can figure out how we're gonna get inside this lantern place, find the egg, and take it. Or do whatever we need to do so that they can't use it.
It's worth noting that the instant we take that egg, we might be in for another fight.
It's also worth noting that we may end up in a position where the only way to stop it is to destroy the egg.
Has to be a possibility. You know me.
Just something to be ready for. We'll obviously do everything we can to not do that, but I don't know how it's attached to the tree. I don't know
How far along it is?
how large it is anymore, how to get it out without ourselves being destroyed.
I hate to
have,
say it,
we
but
do have the aerosol protection from evil and good.
Yes.
I hate to say it, but we haven't talked much about this. Who set the 20-day time limit? Was it you or the hag?
The heck? I don't think I would have picked such an arbitrary date.
If they're as tricky as we seem to assume that they are, and I assume that they are, how do we know for certain that they didn't give themselves a grace period to finish whatever this ritual is?
Right. Which is why we arrived early.
Very likely.
Yeah, that was... The point of getting here as early as possible was to beat them at their own game, I guess.
Right.
But what your suggestion is that perhaps they were already planning.
I'm suggesting maybe they said 20 days to
Maybe
make you
we
feel like you had that much time when really you don't have that much time. Essentially, all that I'm saying is we should get our rest so that we can get this over with as soon as possible.
Right.
So, as you all halt the conversation there for the night, for the day, I should say, as the sun begins to rise outside the cave.
Can I do a little bit of a workout before I go to bed?
Absolutely.
We've just been like in a cave all day.
That's true. Recovering from severe injuries. Yeah, go ahead and make your check. If there's any other downtime activities anybody would like to do, really the one who's the most tired would be Aurora. However, after this long rest, Aurora, you can remove one of your points of exhaustion.
I have a weird question.
What's up?
So, my DC is at 20
Mm-hmm.
to raise my strength score.
Mm-hmm.
If instead of doing like push-ups or whatever, if I like do some rock climbing, do I get to add the +5 from my climbing gloves to this check?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that. Please be good. Please be something good. That's 15. I'll try again later.
I
Yeah.
go ahead and like start working on my decks, I guess.
Sure. What do you do to work on your decks?
For the time being, I'm just gonna practice suspending myself off the ceiling,
Mm-hmm.
because that's a newer feature. So I'm focusing in on my like, oh, I'm on vertical and upside down surfaces.
Yeah, absolutely. Because that is well within your capabilities as long as you're moving fast enough.
Are we doing a watch system while we sleep?
Probably should.
Okay.
What is your dex score at currently?
My current deck score,
Like
19.
Okay, do you already have a skill challenge list going for this one? Okay, I'm gonna say your starting DC is 15.
Okay.
So, barring any natural ones, it'll peak at a 25.
Oh, thank God, that's a 5. So, just decks.
I would argue you could use acrobatics for this because you specified you're like running on walls and shit.
That's just a 12.
12. All right. Failure for the first. However, the DC does not go up. Wonderful. Anything else anybody wants to get up to in the meantime?
I don't think so. Well, before we start going to sleep, I was gonna cast alarm at the
Yeah.
foot of the cave.
Yeah, easy.
Mouth.
The mouth of the cave, easy enough. There's only one entry point. It does fully close off at the back. And Genevieve recasts her, re-requests that the dead Arcanist cast illusion for you, covering up the mouth of the cave as well. No roll required.
Well, it's a leveled spell.
Oh, that's right. Is it level 1?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead and roll your d20.
It's a 13.
All right. Your DC goes up by 1. I think just to 2,
3?
right? What is it? What do you have it
Well,
at?
we
We
said that it
decided that it
starts
starts
at
at 2 because if you...
Right. So yeah, it'll go up to 3.
Okay.
Wonderful.
Go over one of those elven coins from the ship with Feldwin and just continue discussing old stuff.
Yeah, working on your history.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Are you wanting to roll for that, or are you just
No, just
checking it out?
I didn't really have anything. I just wanted to say something.
Yeah. Valdwin.
Shark's legs.
Yeah, Valdwin discusses it with you, and
Oh, I'm gonna walk over to Aurora and hand her one of these greater restorations that I have.
You
I updated
brilliant boy.
In 31, it says it there.
What? Does this
Yeah.
mean I'm no longer exhausted?
Yeah.
Yeah, baby.
yeah, let me just check super quick.
What does that mean, TM?
What does it mean?
It reduces the exhaustion level by 1, so you just need 1 good night's sleep and that potion, and you are cured of your exhaustion. You are fully
Nice.
recovered from having been dead.
And I have
Nice,
marked
nice,
it.
nice, nice,
What
nice.
is the
Nice,
date?
nice, nice.
25th.
And for any of you rules junkies there at home, yes, typically when you are resurrected from being dead, you have 4 levels of exhaustion.
Whoa.
But because Aurora was brought back as undead, I homebrewed it to just be 2. Because I think that's more fun. And also, we're on a time crunch here.
I imagine if you're being turned into like she had some of his blood, so that's like sustenance a bit.
And a supreme healing potion that you guys sacrifice, which is like the god of all healing potions, was used for that ritual.
I'm gonna get me another.
It's worth it.
So as you all go about your downtime activities and help each other out and get your rest, that's where we're gonna go ahead and end tonight's episode.
I just opened a drink.
Oh no, I guess we'll have to hang out and be friends. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, but before we go, we have a giveaway winner to announce.
Will be my
Right.
dice to giveaway.
It's the winner
Crazy.
of the
time.
Fantasy Forge dice
Text
giveaway.
your friends.
Dice.
Tell them the giveaway's about to happen.
The winner of the Fantasy Forge dice giveaway is Weaver. Congratulations, WeFirm. We will get those dice to you as soon as possible. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. This was a relatively chill episode when it comes to combat and stuff. But man, did you guys get to the bottom of some shit.
We're starting to think.
You're doing it. I'm so proud of all of you.
You're doing it.
I'm using my brain.
Just sitting in a fake cave.
We've got a plan, we've got goals, we've got understanding of the enemy's plans and goals. Shit is coming together.
Shit.
We'll see all of you in the next episode next Saturday. We'll be live right here at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, as always. But until then,
Be sure to check out the
yes,
URL.
arcanaramashowcom/resources for some peace of mind and
And to fight back.
to fight back. We'll see all of you in the next episode. But until then,
Stay
safe out there, adventurers.
I've done it. I fucking done it.